Akola Jimon no Ramadan, Aruda Marokata, Maya Babika Yaramadan, President Akola we Aku Ramadan, Aruda Marokata, Moria Babika Yaramadan, Dugbenu lo magbebi asiko amatan. Oluwada kun jọ gbẹbẹ mi, benefit mo fẹ́ jẹ mi ò fẹ́ jẹ̀bi. Ẹni tó wà nǹkan àwẹ̀ kó má rí mi ní kọ́nà. Bíbẹ̀ kọ́ agbalamba bí olúwa bọ́nà. Báríkà ya Rasulullah, máàkì mi, pàdé lọ kí jù máa jù. Bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run tákùlà, láìlà ìlàlà. Báríkà ya Rasulullah, máàkì mi, lọ kí jù máa jù. Bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run tákùlà, láìlà ìlàlà. Àwẹ̀ tán ojú tajọ̀sán, Ọlọ́run ló mọye ládá 30 bag. Nothing should tamper with my ego. Èmi mo lẹ̀sìn mi sẹ́ mo lè fi brag. Ẹgbẹ́ Ọlọ́run tóbi, Allahu Akbar. Ẹyọ̀ ń bá nábì, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Olúwa ló ń ṣọ́ wa, àwa ò ní ìdí ajá. Tí Fọlárìn bá mú bí ìtàyà bí ti ajá. Torí ìdí gan lébè wọ́n fẹ́yìn bí ìjì àwa. Fùrọ̀ tí ò bá ti tóbi tó fùrọ̀ ìfánà, kò lè fíríkì àwa. Kò dẹ̀ lè fíìtì àwa. Tinúkẹ́ ń tó pitì, ó ń gbé màlúmi tìwòtìwò ló dèndé. Irú àyẹn níbo ló ti rí, ta ló tún fẹ́ fi jọ òbí tó bí ni. Wọ́n ló ń dó yátì, bó ń dó ṣéke, bó ṣe ń jó disco ló ń jó rékè. Fún wa nọ́mbà jẹ́ ká patronize ẹ̀, sọ̀rọ̀ owó ká mọ price. Jẹ́ ká ṣe lọ́wọ́ déédé, ìwọ náà mọ̀ mi ò kéré. Mo mọ̀ pé mi ò hólì, ìbọn ọmọ wòlíì ni mi béèrè lọ́wọ́ délé. Tẹ́ bá ti rí Tinúkẹ́, ẹ sọ fún pé mo dúpẹ́. Gbogbo kìsìn gbogbo missionary gbogbo. Tẹ́ bá ti rí Tinúkẹ́, ẹ sọ fún pé mo dúpẹ́. Gbogbo kìsìn gbogbo missionary gbogbo délé. Tẹ́ bá ti rí Tinúkẹ́, ẹ sọ fún pé mo dúpẹ́. Gbogbo kìsìn gbogbo missionary gbogbo. Tẹ́ bá ti rí Tinúkẹ́, ẹ sọ fún pé mo dúpẹ́. Gbogbo kìsìn gbogbo. Ọmọ ìgbà wo ló jáná? Gbogbo scope mi ló ti ká tán. Ọmọge wá ná, I go chop before I chop you, ṣe lè dáná. Ó mọ̀ pé mo kó ẹ̀jẹ̀ bíi ti sushi, gbọ́n ẹ̀ mú bíi ti squishy. Ọmọ ẹ̀lẹ́.
I don't suffer, no be small. But say I get sense. Poverty no good at all. Now it make I join this business. For one night, no be it's once again. Everybody can pay up. If anybody follow Mugu, my brother. National Airport, National Stadium, President, my sister, brother, master. Oh, Iboma, I go chop your dollar, I go take your money, disappear. For one time in the bed. The refinery, the contract, now you white. But you won't pay me some more money, they can't bring up. I don't see them fire. That's why when they run enter my miracle, I will show them fire. National Airport, National Stadium,
Well, here's the video of Bola Tinubu muttering those unintelligible words which have since gone viral. Let's take a look.
You see the innovation. If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Yeah, it's a successful, again, a town hall, different from Blue. Bulaba.
Rufai, you know I have heard of
Okay now. To person between my pen. I see. I see what the wedding forget me. Okay. Papa you look film. And the Ikeyanya. Mama mo say na wa beto go kwa. Aka na wa mo jelomba. O we budike. Aka ni lu ne budilo wa ne mo. Ata me wa ke ya di kwa ya jomba.
Samu kudin ka kawai ka kashe.
Kar ka bari su kashe maka sanda kake nema ba mai taya maka ruwa na dukan ka su ko suna daka. In baka ci ba su ci maka. Kai da kudin ka kana haka. Abu ma sai an saya maka. In ka samu kawai ka kashe. Kutuma bura uba. Yau akwai bura uba ban balaga ba amma sai jaraba. In abincin akwai dadi sai na daba. Kutuma bura uba. Yau akwai bura uba ban balaga ba amma sai jaraba. In abincin akwai dadi sai na daba. Wayo Allah na. Wayo Allah na. Wayo Allah na. Duniya na.
And there it is right there. So there it is right there. So apologies first. Apologies for the absence. So it was for reasons inevitable. One I needed to come up with it anyway, because it's just I told myself even wondering how I'm doing it. Now she's in the same sort of time zone as me. She's now it's a heavy lift sometimes doing these things. So I needed to come off it. But I didn't actually come off it because I needed a break. I broke the screen. The screen on my system got broken. In fact, all of them. I had two, and both got broken. What was broken, I just abandoned it. And then the second one got broken. So I sent them both for repairs. And then I got this one new. I got this one actually, was it 2 days ago, thereabouts, but I couldn't even take, I didn't bother taking it out of the box. Now I've taken it out of the box, set it up a little bit. So let me know then if the quality still remains consistent. That's the one thing. And this one, by the way, I just got, it's just a space filler between my computer, my laptop's being fixed, and me still having to carry on because I had withdrawal symptoms. I wasn't able to go online for like a day or so, and I had so much withdrawal symptoms. It's more addictive, than drugs. Just being online, you just spend endless hours scrolling through rubbish. Now that I've now even we'll be streaming onto TikTok fairly soon. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it, so we'll be streaming onto TikTok very soon. But there it is. That's the sum total of what's led to, was it a 2 days absence thereabout? But good to see that you're still here. It's good to see that you maintain the faith. Good day to you. Good to be in your company and all that. So good day to you. Good to be in your company, and how are you? So how are you? The protocol still remains the same. Click on the like button just at my invitation to do so. Click on the like button, do that now. If you're not already subscribed, please correct that as well. Like and subscribe. So of course, those two standardized things that YouTubers or streamers. I don't like the term. I'm uncomfortable with a lot of the term. These people actually call themselves content creators now. You sit in your living room, in my case, in my conservatory, and you talk nonsense online, and you're claiming you're some content creator. So I'm not going. I'm just. What's the terminology that best fits? I would say is it blogging? It's not a blog, is it? I'm not even sure what a blog is. I would say a political commentary stream. So that would make it then a political commentary streamer, because that's the abundance of what we digest here. But good day to you. Good to be your company and all that. Click on the like button if you have not already done that. Do that. If you're not already subscribed, please do. We need 10 subscribers to get us over a particular hump, to get us over a particular threshold. So if you're not already subscribed, then please do that. Like and subscribe. Do those two things now. If you're not subscribed, that is. If you're subscribed, then just like. If you're not subscribed, then like and then subscribe. So if you want to come and join me on the screen, there's Peter Obi Flogger is probably the best terminology. When done. And by the way, say hello in the comment section as you're coming in, so I can say hello back. Let me just acknowledge then already there. And if you want to say hello, especially in the fashion that Ayo says it, that's probably the best way to say hello. So Adama came in first. Oh, did she come in actually first? So Adama came in first. She was passing by. I think maybe on other things now, maybe she return whenever. So that's Adama right there. Good to see Adama. Hopefully you're hearing us. Olatubosun, there's Bosun right there. So there's XYZ. I always asking who am I? Who are you again? Who I am again is asking. I think that's in just a nod to the absence, the few days of not streaming. So there's Bosun right there. Agbado Tinubu, that's Agbado Tinubu right there. Good to see you, my guy. And the delectable Chioma, who is on her travels at the moment. She's traveling the world as we speak. She's in Nigeria, I suspect. So Chioma, just whatever it is that catches your attention, just do a short little clip and send it to me. Especially anything that impresses or disappoints you that you see in the course of your stay in Nigeria. Just do a little clip and send it in, just so that it keeps just for the culture. Do it for the culture. That's Adedeji right there. Good to see you, Deji. Good to see you, Deji. That's Derek Hodge. That's the traditional Igbo name. Then, if there was ever a 419, it has to be this guy. There is no Nigerian that is called Derek Hodge, and there is no Nigerian last name that is Hodge. So that's Derek Hodge right there. the step brother of our Hush Puppy, no doubt. Ayo, of course, the mighty man himself. That's Ayo right there, the sponsor of the platform. And that's Meadowman right there, a real stalwart of the place. I think he probably started with us. It's me, Adriana. So good to see you, Adriana. Are you reassuring yourself that it is you? And the majestic man, of course, Uncle Ben. No, that's Ben right there, the elegant man. So it's a potpourri of elegance and savoir-faire. So that's the audience right there. A potpourri of elegance. It's a bohemian crowd. How about that? It's a bohemian crowd, you know. Let me just shut up. Should I just shut up? Yeah, so click on like, click on subscribe, click on the hyperlink that says StreamYard if you want to come and join me on the screen. Share the links just as widely as you can. And then super chats towards the stream as Ayo always starts off, and he starts off. We have the anticipation of a minimum of 5 super chats for every single stream that we do. I don't think that's too excessive. That's certainly not beyond the reach of the audience. So all that. Shall we just get started? So let me know how the flow is. Maybe I've lost momentum, or maybe this new system that I'm using is not fit for purpose. What's this one? You know, I'm always reticent. Anytime, like I said, I'm setting up this platform, this laptop for the first time. So all of those places that I go to, they're now asking me again to accept cookies and whatnot. I'm not a child and I don't eat cookies. So I'm not quite sure why I'm always being invited to accept a cookie. So I don't want a cookie, thank you. But they won't let you in if you don't accept their terms. So let's just go in there. So let's go in there and we kick it off with this. The politics is still very much, we're not getting into the epicenter of the politics. And the wage is getting a lot harsher and a lot more aggressive. So a lot of that going on. And, fact falls victim of the struggle for power. Fact, truth, fair play, none of those things have a place within politics. So facts and truth and fairness and order, they always fall victim
jìnnà sí wọn bí sọmọ sílẹ̀ o ara ló ń ta wọn ṣe mọ́ o náà bá sunkún sójú bẹ̀rẹ̀ má ti fi gbin sọ kó fẹ́ yẹ ẹyẹ kó lọ ìgbín sọnù sígbó wọn dúró títí ọwọ́ wọn ò tó ìṣó máa ṣe ta ní kókó ṣòkòtò tí olókùn ó dá kìtìyàn ó dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Olórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Àbọ̀dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Olórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Ọmọ iná náà mi arán síná. Orí mi dákun má ṣì mí lọ́nà o. Mo tẹ́rí bá fàdàgbà o. Àgbà ẹ̀ foríjì ni. Ojoojúmọ́ ni mo pọ́n wọn lé. Mo ń ṣèyá sí àwọn àgbà o. Mi ò fojú tí rìn wọn láyé. Ọmọdé ẹ má fàgbà ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́ torí oníkọ́ tó yẹ ọlá ní. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Màmá ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Wọ́n máa ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Bọ́lájú kòkòrò bá gbẹ́ran nígbó tó bá múra ẹ̀pín ló dára jù o. Kọ̀wé mi á jẹ́ dàgbà o. Èyí mo rí màrò ẹ̀ka gbogbo náà ní ilé ayé. Sùúrù ní ṣẹ́gun ohun gbogbo. Ẹ má ṣèké mo ní ẹ má jalè. Ẹ má forí wórí ìkìlọ̀ ló jẹ́. Ẹni forí wórí yìí yóò ṣàbàmọ̀. Àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ̀ láyé o. Nílé ayé o. Àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ̀ láyé. Àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ̀ láyé. Àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ̀ láyé. Dẹ́bìtọ̀ rẹ̀ àtàrà ilé o. Àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ̀ láyé. Àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ̀ láyé. Àwa ò ní ṣàbàmọ̀. Wọ́n gbọ́ pé ọjà tán nílùú Ṣókótó. Wọ́n múra wọn sáré kẹ́rù sọ́kọ̀ o. Àyàn ọmọ ògbóògùn wo. Wọn ò béèrè lọ́wọ́ orí. Orí lọ́mọ mẹ́wàá lọ ìyàwó. Ohun tí ẹ wá lọ sí Ṣókótó. Ohun rẹ̀ lágbo Ṣókótó mo sọ. Àkúnlẹ̀yàn ọmọ ẹ̀dá láyé. Kò lè yí padà mo ń tẹnu mọ́ o. Olórí làlábàrò. Orí làlábàrò. Olórí làlábàrò. Mo lórí làlábàrò. Olórí làlábàrò. Orí mi gbé mi níjà o. Olórí làlábàrò. Làlábàrò. Olórí làlábàrò. Oríjà jogun ìkànnì wọn rí. Wọ́n fi wá fáyé mu nílé ayé wa o. Olúwa àgbẹ̀ wa níyàwó. Àmì nílé ayé wa. Ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọ̀tá kọ́ ni wá. Ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọ̀tá kọ́ lẹ́yìn. Ṣọ́wa nínú àpá wọn kìnìún. Ejò olóró àkékè. Ṣọ́wa nínú ìdàgìrì ayé. Dáàbò ẹ̀bùn wá fi ṣọ́rẹ́ ṣọ́wa o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè. Mo máa sádì ọba bá lókè o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè o. Olúwa gbé wa níjà o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè o. Kó má fi wá sílẹ̀ o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè o. Olúwa má fi wá sílẹ̀ o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè o. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Bí wọ́n ti ro tiwa sí nínú ilé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kó jẹ́ tiwọn lọ́jọ́ gbogbo. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè.
quite sure. The system just seems to be tripping. It's a fresh out of the box laptop that I'm using, so I'm strong enough to carry the weight of it. But apologies for that. Matters outside of my control. So we give it one more try, and then we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it's settling it. That's why I wanted to bed it in before I started using it. But there it is. We get this thing sometimes. Before we were rudely interrupted, I was saying now that of music, and then I'm going to reboot my system, and then hopefully that settles it. If it doesn't settle it, we'll abandon the stream. I don't want to have to abandon it, seeing as somebody has already super chatted and whatnot. Feels like picking a pocket, but I'll play you a bit of music. I'll reboot, and then we'll see how it's like I was saying, laptop. So I'm not quite sure why it should be playing up in that manner. Let's play.
Ọmọ ìjọ sàn kó fún mi. ṣeré. Ẹ̀rù ìyá rẹ̀ ń bá ní. Bọ́lọ́jọ́ bọ́lọ́jọ́ ò ṣe é gbé ṣeré. Ọmọ ẹ̀kún wo ni? Ọmọ ẹ̀kún wo ni? Bọ́lọ́jọ́ bọ́lọ́jọ́ ò ṣe é gbé ṣeré. Ẹ̀rù ìyá rẹ̀ ń bá ní. Mandele yàrá náà kó wọn bá ìlà bẹ̀rẹ̀ fẹ́. Mandele yàrá náà kó wọn fàtórí àdí. Mandele yàrá náà kó wọn bá ìlà tọrọ nǹkan. Mandele yàrá náà kó wọn fàtórí àdí. Ẹgbẹ́ mi wọ́n ẹ dúró. Ẹgbẹ́ mi wọ́n ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ mi wọ́n ẹ dúró. Ẹgbẹ́ mi wọ́n ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ṣé ẹ ti ń bọ̀ dán? Ṣé ẹ ti ń bọ̀ dán? Ẹ sá máa tò mí. Ẹ sá máa tò mí. Ẹ bá wá obìnrin àlòkù. Ẹ dé Kútọ́nù. A máa yà sí mi sẹ́bọ̀. A máa làwọ̀ yóò bá dé. Tọ́pá ń kó kiri. Ẹ bá wá obìnrin àlòkù. Ẹ dé Kútọ́nù. A máa yà sí mi sẹ́bọ̀. A máa làwọ̀ yóò bá dé. Tọ́pá ń kó kiri. Àlè wọ́n wọ́n wò rí wọ́n wọ́n wò. Tọ́pá ń kó kiri. Ìkó wọ́n wò ìkó wọ́n wò. Tọ́pá ń kó kiri. Ìwọ́n wọ́n lẹ̀ ìwọ́n wọ́n lẹ̀. Tọ́pá ń kó kiri. Ìkó wọ́n wò ìkó wọ́n wò. Tọ́pá ń kó kiri.
Àní tọpá kó wọn kiri kó wọn ní kó wọn kó wọn kó wọn kó wọn kó wọn. Ó máa kó wọn lọ ṣẹ́ṣẹ́ṣẹ́. Àní dada ìṣìnàbù ní kọrin ní lùmìtì. Óyè!
Sọ́lọ́jà sọ́lọ́jà yíyọ ẹ̀rọ sọ́lọ́jà.
Àní mo ti dúró kiri ọ̀rọ̀ kí lọ sọ lọ́jà o. Lè ṣe àbọ̀là kàràbánú ń fásìlà lórí.
Sọ́lọ́jà sọ́lọ́jà yíyọ ẹ̀rọ sọ́lọ́jà. Ìtànkè alùgbé bàbá ń fọ òun òde. Ìdàgbà ń ṣeré gbogbo ìlú kan ń bì títì. Eléètì mọ̀ bàbá ológun ló sì lé eléèrí ògún mọ̀. Òrìṣà lúwà là ń ṣe bí ń dọ́gba fáráyé. Ó ní ò bá dọ́gba fún ìyé ìbọ̀hún òro. Ó lè ṣe palẹ̀mọ́ fún lọ ìyẹn ò kan wá ó ẹ̀rọ sọ́lọ́jà.
Àníkẹ́ lọ sọ lọ́jà. Lè ṣe àbọ̀là kàràbánú ń fásìlà òyìnbó ń wí o. Àníkẹ́ máa lọ sọ lọ́jà. Ìyẹn ò kẹ́ mi o. Ṣíṣìṣì. Kó máa lọ.
Sọ́lọ́jà sọ́lọ́jà yíyọ ẹ̀rọ sọ́lọ́jà.
Àníkẹ́ kóra ìjọ pọ̀ kẹ́ máa sọ ìyẹn ò kàn mí o.
Sọ́lọ́jà sọ́lọ́jà yíyọ ẹ̀rọ sọ́lọ́jà. Ìtànkè alùgbé bàbá ń fọ òun òde. Ìdàgbà ń ṣeré gbogbo ìlú kan ń bì títì. Eléètì mọ̀ bàbá ológun ló sì lé eléèrí ògún mọ̀. Òrìṣà lúwà là ń ṣe bí dọ́gba fáráyé. Ó ní ò bá dọ́gba fún ìyé ìgbóhùn òro. Ó lè ṣe palẹ̀mọ́ fún lọ ilé òkan wá ó ẹ̀rọ sọ́lọ́jà.
Ilé ìkẹ́kẹ̀ẹ́sì Pálásì lóró sí ìlàrò Pálásì. Ok, Pálásì. IDB, ẹgbẹ́ wọn kọ́
Thank you.
Mama. Snap it, wish.
All right. Um, hopefully you can hear me. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I was just explaining. It's a fresh out of the box laptop that I'm using, so I'm not quite sure if it's they broke it out just yesterday. Is it? It's just a grand conspiracy, isn't it? There's a conspiracy going on against this stream. It cannot be anything other than. But I was just saying that politics is a dirty game, and the dirty game of the politics has started in full pelt. Rotimi Amici, of course, you know, they're actually thinking of Rotimi Amici being the consensus candidate for the opposition. So I'm not quite sure how that plays out. If they are going to consensus to Rotimi Amici, then that is to tell you then that Peter Obi will not be part of that coalition because it would then be an Amici El Rufai sort of a setup. So that collapses. So you see, it is the ego of a lot of the this is the thing, Zita. I'm always if I have a pile of computers that are broken in the course of doing these streams, just a pile. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'm too heavy-handed. Maybe I buy a middle of the range laptop because I'm not going to invest too much in this thing. It's not as though it's generating anything, you know. You know. But yes, I do go through. No, I'm not going to get myself a high-speed desktop. You know, the thing, or unless the thing pays for it, right? So I was just saying, Rotimi Amici seems to be the consensus choice. That's what's been rumored, that the consensus is going to coalesce behind Rotimi Amici. So now, I was just about to say, the egos of the main actors within that consensus space, it is what will ultimately stymie any sort of trajectory that it might have. There is no prospect of it having any movement because the egos are so big. Rotimi Amici is still bitter from the loss at the primaries to was it 2023 thereabouts? So he's still bitter from that because he had all of the assurances, the cabal around Buhari then, they gave him the assurances that he was going to get the presidential ticket for the APC, to the point that a train service all the way from Kano, all the way to Maradi, which is Buhari's ancestral homestead. Because Buhari, of course, is more from the J Republic than he is Nigerian. I think we all know that. So he built that airline. He then moved the University for Transportation, which was part of the railway deals that we had with the Chinese. He then moved that University for Transportation. He located it in Katsina as well. All of this to try and buy the APC ticket. And then as a reward for all, and he was pumping a lot of money into the Emir of Daura, by the way. So he was pumping a lot of money into that guy, dollars after dollars, millions of billions. So he did all of that in his calculation. Emir of Daura to ban him. I'm talking about Rotimi Amici right here. To the point then that the Emir of Daura to ban him as the XYZ of Daura, whatever the title is. So he had put all the ducks in a row in the real push to try and capture the APC ticket. But similarly, Oshibanjo played a similar game as well, but to a lesser degree. But comment the moment, comment the man, and the man that came out, as Elumelu famously said, last man standing. And Rotimi Amechi has been embittered ever since that February, or when was it? Whenever the APC primaries was. Rotimi Amechi has been embittered ever since then. And the only thing that will satiate his bitterness is for becoming president is even less than Peter Obi's, and Peter Obi stands no chance. So all of the egos coalescing under that coalition ticket, all of those egos is what will ultimately stymie that thing from progressing in any meaningful way. The egos are just too big. So you're talking about Rotimi Amechi wanting to be president. Certainly, Peter Obi has been campaigning since the last election. Atiku Abubakar is at the last chance saloon, and it's going to be a desperate throw. And you have El Rufai sniffing around as well. Because El Rufai, if you have been long enough within Nigerian politics, you would know that El Rufai missed an opportunity and has been ruined that ever since. Now, when Obasanjo's 2 terms expired and was shopping around for a northerner to hand over to, his first choice, the first choice of, I can go and get you the articles from then, so it was widely known then. So the first choice that Obasanjo wanted to hand over to was El Rufai. That was his anointed candidate back then. But El Rufai was playing a little bit hard to get. He was trying to be a little bit too cute, to the point that even Tunde Bakare, the pastor, the one with the squeaky voice that told us the Lord told him he was going to be president, to the point that Tunde Bakare, the former running mate of Buhari, Tunde Bakare, to the point that Tunde Bakare, he went all the way from Lagos to Kaduna to go and speak to El Rufai that, look, listen, Baba wants to hand over this thing to you. Make yourself available. And El Rufai was still doing all of this. I'll think about it. And before he knew it, Obasanjo just deviated to Shehu Yadua. So El Rufai has been ruining that missed opportunity, and he has been nursing the ambition of becoming president ever since. And El Rufai's calculations was to exactly the same game that Tinubu played, to force Tinubu to assist Tinubu in and then succeed him in the way that Tinubu assisted Buhari in and then succeeded him. But for him to succeed Tinubu, El Rufai needed the visibility of being in government in some form, especially like a ministerial portfolio, where he can put in a performance, and then that performance then will be his calling card to 2027, to 2031 rather. So that's been stymied, of course. So he's now at the desperate last saloon space as well. So do you see? So it's a conglomerate, it's an amalgam, it's an amalgamation of desperados. These are coalition being put together by Atiku and his band of not so merry men. So that is where we're starting it from. Hopefully the system now steadies down for us to actually have a session. So the system steadies down. El Rufai Amechi are architects of banditry, hunger. This is Shehu Sani, and you have to remember, of course, that Shehu Sani has crossed over back to the APC. So he's now speaking very much as a partisan man. So that's where we're kicking it off. Is that showing on the screen or not? So yes, El Rufai Amechi are architects of banditry and hunger. This is Shehu Sani now speaking to the space. So here it is. Senator Shehu Sani has alleged that former governors Nasir El Rufai and Rotimi Amechi have no moral right to criticize President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, claiming they were key contributors to banditry and economic hardship facing Nigeria today. The former Kaduna State lawmaker accused the two governors of hypocrisy and political selfishness, dismissing their recent criticism of President Tinubu's policies on poverty and hunger as insincere. El-Rufai and Amechi should bow their heads in shame. They are the architects of the banditry, poverty, and hunger they now pretend to lament, Sani said. During their time in office, they failed to solve these problems. Now that they have been sidelined in the current government, they are crying foul. He noted that while it is not wrong to criticize the government, doing so out of personal disappointment rather than genuine concern is harmful. Hold on. Right, it is harmful. Sani also criticized other former officials of the Buhari administration who, after not securing appointment in the Tinubu cabinet, are allegedly working to undermine the current leadership. These individuals controlled the country's affairs for 8 years. They had the power, resources, and influence to transform the North into a socio-economic model, but they left it in a worse condition. According to Sani, security has improved in areas such as Benin Gwari Road, once notorious for bandit attacks, and southern Kaduna, which he described as relatively peaceful under the current leadership. He acknowledged that insecurity remains a challenge in parts of the north, like Katsina and Zamfara, but insisted the situation is better than before. He urged President Tinubu to intensify efforts in the north and remain open to constructive criticism as long as it's not fueled by political bitterness. So that is the nature of the conversations going forward towards the 2027 elections. Rotimi Amechi, of all people, do you remember when Rotimi Amechi was defending something in front of the Senate and in front of the House of Reps, that was, and Gbajabi Amila had to step down because he had to step in to rescue him because he couldn't account for the money. And this is the guy that is coming to fight corruption. It's unbelievable stuff, some of these things. Let me play you this clip. This is the nature of the former chief of army staff, Burutai, who is now lamenting the state of insecurity in Nigeria. You won't believe it, though. The one that told us that we will just have to learn to live with Boko Haram and all that, and was arming insurgents and all that. The one that was, he spent more of his time shooting up Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igbo's houses rather than anything to secure Nigeria. So here is Burutai, who now comes out to nail his colors to the mast of Atiku and his band of merry men. Watch this.
And also, I think I will take another minute to make a short remark on the speech or the lecture by the guest lecturer. My relationship with Amechi dates back to 2011 when he was governor and I was brigade commander. And I've seen in him a leader who thinks security, he eats security, he sleeps security, and wakes up with security. The period he served as governor, we all know what happened, what transpired. He is the first to invite me to the political terrain. I was in Benin, Cotonou. One evening he called me and said, come and join my political campaign for the primaries. And behold, I had no hesitation. And as such, what happened? What happened during the primaries? He came second in order of the votes. He scored 316, while President Bola Tinubu scored 1,271. And we have the sitting vice president came after him, and the sitting Senate president came after him. The the number 2 and number 3 in the order of precedence. What does that say? Means he has a great political future. I see Amechi playing fully the political leadership of this country, and I think his political role has just fully started. Your Excellency, I say congratulations. Secondly, this is my opinion, my views. I'm not a member of this government of Tinubu, you all know, but we played a prominent role in ensuring that he won the elections. But the topic, democracy and the Republic of Poverty, I want to take a historical perspective in context of our country. Please, 1, 2. This has essentially been done systematically and influenced by the International Monetary Fund and World Bank. And you will see, during the time of IBB, the Structural Adjustment Program and the Belt tightening policies, the foreign exchange, the regulations started fully during IBB's period.
The president feels let down. Details emerge as tensions rise between Tinubu and Sanwo Olu. So a lot of you, of course, will recall when Tinubu went to inaugurate the people criticizing inaugurating the 30 kilometers Lagos-Ibadan coastal highway, by the way. But when Tinubu went to inaugurate that 30 kilometers, the rumors, the speculation then was the relationship, there was cold shoulders between Tinubu and Sanwo Olu. So from that saga that we had, when they were tussling for the leadership of the Lagos State House of Assembly. So I think it's a follow-through from that. The president feels let down. Details emerge as tension rise between Tinubu and Sanwo Olu. So Sanwo Olu should go and learn from Ambode and the rest of them. Tinubu takes no prisoners, but he will learn, and he will learn the hard way. So yes, tensions are rising within President Bola Tinubu's camp as insiders reveal that the president now feels let down by Lagos State Governor Babjide Sanwo Olu, a development that is felt within the ranks of the All Progressive Congress APC. Sanwo Olu, a protege of Tinubu and beneficiary of his political influence, rose swiftly through the APC ranks, winning the Lagos State governorship in 2019 and securing re-election in 2023 with Tinubu's full support. However, sources say that the relationship has deteriorated considerably in recent months, marked by visible signs of distance and mistrust. The president's recent visit to Lagos brought this to light. Eyewitnesses at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport observed Tinubu deliberately bypassing Sanwo Olu, ignoring a customary handshake, and instead greeting Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat. According to party insiders, the president's media team was instructed to withhold any footage of this interaction from public view to avoid fueling speculation. So yes, This was widely reported, but there is no visual or there's no camera capture of it. Do you understand? So it's been widely reported, but I've not seen any clips of Tinubu deliberately ignoring Sanwo Olu to refusing to shake his hand. So although we know he has that tendency, we saw him do it to Shibanjo during the primaries. But there it is. So what's going on there is the question. Tensions are rising within President Bola Tinubu's camp as insiders reveal that the president now feels let down by Lagos State Governor Babjide Sanwo Olu, a development that is felt within the ranks of the All Progressive Congress APC. Sanwo Olu, a protege of Tinubu and beneficiary of his political influence, rose swiftly through the APC ranks, winning the Lagos State governorship in 2019 and securing re-election in 2023 with Tinubu's full support. However, sources say the relationship has deteriorated considerably in recent months, marked by visible signs of distance and mistrust. The president's recent visit to Lagos brought this to light. Eyewitnesses at the Murtala Mohammed Airport observed Tinubu deliberately bypassing Sanwo Olu, ignoring a customary handshake, and instead greeting Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat. According to Pat, and that's a public snub, by the way, which signals the final nail in Sanwo Olu's coffin, political coffin, that is, political trajectory. Because, of course, a lot of speculation then that Sanwo Olu in 2027 will get a ministerial portfolio, but the chances looking slim now. The president's recent visit to Lagos brought this to light. Eyewitnesses at the Murtala Mohammed Airport observed Tinubu deliberately bypassing Sanwo Olu, ignoring customary handshake, and instead greeting Deputy Governor Obafemi was instructed to withhold any footage of this interaction from public view to avoid fueling speculation. It took intense last-minute lobbying and persuasion to get the governor included, an insider revealed. Otherwise, only the deputy governor was supposed to be at the airport. Further breaches of protocol followed. Sanwo Olu was excluded from accompanying Tinubu to his Bodleian residence, a role traditionally reserved for the sitting governor, with Hamzat taking his place. The governor was also absent from significant events during the visit, including the 50th anniversary of ECOWAS at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, a notable omission given Lagos status as host city. The political frostiness is believed to stem partly from Sanwo Olu's involvement in a controversial attempt to unseat. Yes, I did think it had to do with Mudashiru Obasa. The political frostiness is believed to stem partly from Sanwo Olu's involvement in a controversial attempt to unseat Lagos Assembly Speaker Mudashiru Obasa. Reports indicate, so I think that's just what it is, isn't it? Reports indicate the governor supported and mobilized lawmakers to remove Obasa, a move that was swiftly overturned by Tinubu. This episode is said to have deeply strained the president's trust in his former ally. Commenting on the issue, a former commissioner in Lagos who spoke anonymously said, "This is not just about ego or protocol breaches. The president feels let down in certain ways, and when that happens, he doesn't forget easily." Sanwo Olu's sidelining is further reflected in his absence from the APC National Policy and Performance Review Summit in Abuja, where Tinubu received formal endorsement for a second term. Sources suggest the governor may have been quietly excluded following the Obasa controversy. Sanwo Olu's influence over the upcoming local government elections in Lagos has waned. None of the 57 chairmanship candidates have ties to his camp, a break from previous patterns. Party directives reportedly barred sitting governors from manipulating candidate selections, signaling a reassertion of control by Tinubu's inner circle. Several local government aspirants pitched with the governor were edged out during the screening phase, whilst others reportedly withdrew under pressure from emerging power blocks loyal directly to Abuja. The once dominant Governance Advisory Council, a key Lagos APC decision-making body, also lost sway amidst this power shift. So there it is. Sanwo Olu's second and final tenure as Lagos governor ends 2027. It is understood that even stronger assertions of control are on the horizon as the countdown advances. So I wonder if Sanwo Olu will try to stab him in the back by conspiring against him at Lagos 2020. I don't think he would dare, though. I don't think he has the. I don't think he would dare do that, though. I'm not just sure that he will do that. So that's that. Go here. 2027. Atiku Amechi El Rufai hungry for state resources. So this is a clap back at the criticism. Rotimi Amechi accusing the government then of looting the monies that the windfall, the monies they've gotten from the subsidy removals. The All Progressive Congress what's going on with what's going on with this one now? Kilo to shele MPC. Kilo shele. What agua? When it rains, it pours, doesn't it? What's this one doing now? Okay, it's all those adverts, isn't it? The All Progressive Congress APC. Can you just stay in one place, please? Just let's. The All Progressive Congress APC. Yeah, the All Progressive Congress APC yesterday lashed out at the trio of former yesterday lashed out at the trio of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi, and ex-governor Kaduna All right, we go again. I'm not quite sure what's going on now. I think maybe we just start the conversation. I've got the star here, so let me kick it off with the star since the feed is not allowing the readout. So the star, you are there. What are you following in the news? The star or how do you even play this? It's just
I just joined not quite long ago now. So let another person take off.
All right. So all right. All right. Let me set you to the back then. All right. I'm not quite sure that the star is really ready for us. All right. Let me. Let me give you another readout then. So many criticisms coming Tinubu's way. Even the Afenifere people are after him, I wonder which allies is actually going to prosecute that election with. Presidency replies, factional Afenifere list Tinubu's achievement in 2 years. So even the Afenifere people, they are after him. That's just That's just how it is. Let me send the link again. If anybody wants to come in, come in. It might well be a short-lived session. I'm not sure the star is there for the conversation, but let me see. The whole thing is just it tips it up with me. Let's Rufai Oseni. So let me play you this one.
Again, what you have just come to tell us here, that you are doing a project,
Rufai.
Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. What you have just come to tell us here is that you are doing a project worth trillions without transparency and an open bidding process that gives everybody the chance. Can you show me if there was
somebody tell
hang
Rufai.
on a minute, let me finish now. Let me finish. I gave you the chance.
Rufai, hold on.
Can you show me?
You don't darken counsel without knowledge.
No, wait a minute.
I'm putting you right so that you can ask.
Let me finish.
No, get information right.
You won't allow me finish. Let me land at least
you
and
are
you
finishing
respond.
on wrong.
Wait now, Minister. You want to take this interview from me? Let me ask the question and you correct it.
Rufai, you are dark.
Let me ask the question and you correct it. Please, let me speak, Minister. We are very good friends. So, you gave me honorable mention at the Millennium Independence Bridge. You are my man. Bless you. So, what you are saying is that no independent free bidding process for everybody. You just went along with high tech because they did some work in Lagos before. And the argument you are making, with due respect, Minister, that they brought equipment to help in the, independent bridge scenario and all of that. That's no big deal. They are benefiting from the government in other ways through the coastal road. So it's not an argument. So you are saying that there was no open tender, at least give others a chance to bid. Secondly, Minister, I want to bring forward the case of Winsome. You will react, Minister. You will react. Let me have my time. You will react to it.
Rufai, hold on.
Minister, I'm not finished asking my question now.
Your own.
You have not finished now. You will react to
one. Let me correct this one.
You will react to it. Give me the chance. You see, we are wasting time. Winsome Homes, she said she got some money from the diaspora. And there's been a back and forth I've been seeing in the news. I don't know what your take is on that Winsome Home project, the real estate developer. Thirdly, Minister, give me empirical facts of how much you have spent for this first 30 kilometers that is about to be commissioned. How much you have spent in also the street light deployment and other things that you've deployed in this first 30 kilometers. So let us know a price range variation. If you can also give me kilometer by kilometer spending and some other empirical breakdown so we can see it. If you can't finish it here, you can send the documents to us so that we can just also assess the spending. Thank you, Minister.
Rufai, first and foremost is that you have to recall that you carried your calculator, and I was in the studio, and I was giving you the figures. I didn't carry calculator like you, and your calculator could not properly calculate what I was saying. It was, Dr. Abati that came between us. He said, okay, leave the calculation. So I ran the figures. Rufai, the first 47 by 47 kilometer of the Section 1 Coastal Highway was awarded at 1.068 trillion. And we have 30% component of the federal government counterpart funding and 70% loan component. As of today, we have not secured one kobo loan on the project. But High Tech had invested their money, and that job is about 80% done. The solar light is not an isolated contract. It's part of the project, the road architecture. You have the cable ducting, you have the drainage, you have the tree planting, and of course you have the train track, which we have made provision, for future train construction. It's not part of my mandate, but we have to make that provision, for future. And then when you said we didn't give others the opportunity, and that's what I'm trying to correct you, that we have three kinds of procurement process. The first one is, restrictive for specialized jobs. And when we use, that specialized procurement process for sections 1 and 2, for section 3A and 3B, Sokoto Badagry, the Trans-Sahara route, it became selective tendering. Other contractors were invited in each of the other processes, and of course they bid it. And High Tech won because of their technical competence, the equipment they parade, the number of expertise they have, and the local content components of the engagement, because they have a lot of engineers engaged.
Right there, constituting himself yet a nuisance yet again. It was quite an annoying little interaction with Dave Umahi there. I was telling him quickly, Minister, quickly, just sniping at the guy. It was just, that guy, he shouldn't really be on television, Rufai was saying. But somebody that should be on television, anywhere Bele face, or otherwise known as Dangote, here he is eulogizing then that Tinubu is the best thing that's ever happened to Nigeria. What Dangote?
He's a visionary leader. These structural reforms, which Mr. President did, really, you must give him credit. Even his own enemy will give him a credit, because removing total subsidy, making it an open market, for Nigerians to be buying at the market rates, and also doing the exchange rate on top of that. On top of that exchange rate, also doing the removal of subsidy to some of us in the high class in terms of electricity consumption, because 241% increase wasn't really a small thing. But all these have actually been absorbed by people without burning tires, without this, so it was actually accepted. And this has actually reduced the drain on government's resources. But on this one, really, I think Mr. President has actually done extremely very, very, very well. Because these were things that I thought they won't happen in our lifetime, but here we are.
Nigeria's economy was severely challenged when President Tinubu assumed office in May 2020.
So that's Dangote right there, endorsing Tinubu's removal of the subsidies. There's an inevitability to the removal of those subsidies. It was just, and there's no argument really to suggest that it should have staggered it. It should have just, it's like ripping off the band-aid. So it should have just ripped off the band-aid in the manner that he has done. And then the country then goes through whatever pain period, which we are going through now. And then once they come out of that, it's on a stronger footing. So it's essentially laying the foundations for a greater nation. So there's that. So now back to the coalition space. And the parallel that this lady in this clip is drawing is actually between Peter Obi and one other. But who is that other? And who takes preeminence? Who did a better job between Peter Obi and the other person that this lady is comparing him to? Watch this.
To me, if you ask me, I feel like Obi really needs to calm down with the way he goes out of Nigeria, grant interview, and say a lot of nasty things about Nigeria. Guys, I am not saying all is well in the country. I feel like he spent a lot of time, all the time, saying a lot of negative things about this country whenever he is granted an interview. For someone who actually was a governor in Anambra State for 8 years, and we cannot point out the school he built, even though they are talking here and here that yeah, he built school, he do this one, no be show workings. So show us the school he built. When it comes to achievement, you can never compare Sanwo Olu to Peter Obi. Sanwo Olu have done a lot for Lagos in the past 8 years. If not anything, even if it's the blue rail train, we can see that he has beauty. I feel like it is not patriotic enough for you as Nigerian citizens to be going out of the country and then be granting interviews all the time, saying a lot of negative things about the country. I understand that your place as the opposition of, the party in power is to always say negative things about them. But can you focus on saying negative things about their policies and about the way they are trying to implement their policies, rather than saying a lot of nasty things about the country? Aside from being a politician, let's learn to be patriotic. If you decide to picture Nigeria in the way Peter Obi is always saying it, you will think Nigeria is actually one masquerade country. Yes, the economy is bad. We are not doing good economically, but that does not mean you should be granting interview all the time, saying a lot of negative things about the country. At least there are still some positive things. Opposition will always be opposition, but at least no be cho. Show us working. Show us what you achieved as the governor of Anambra State for 8 years.
Right, show us the workings. A lot of people have invited that from Peter Obi. His politics is just about negative campaigning against the government, rather than actually telling us what he will do. He say, look, the price of bread is not the price of gari, and then, just in that sluggish, rather retarded sort of tonality that he has. So show us tell us what you have done in the past for us to invest confidence in you, and tell us what you will do in the future for us to vote for you. So don't tell us that this is what Tinubu has not done, or everybody knows what is going on in that country. Whether they agree or not, everybody knows. Everybody knows that the high inflation that we're suffering now is nothing to do as a consequence of anything that Tinubu has done or not done. What we are going through now is a consequence of our historic decades of mismanagement that was capped off by the heavy looting of the Buhari administration. And all of the things that Tinubu is doing now are all of the things that he should and even further must do. He must stop the bleeding, which is to cap off the corruption edges. So when he removes, when he free floats the naira and he removes the subsidy, and that would not go seamlessly without the subsidy on the fuel, which automatically will jack up the price of fuel, and then it free floats the naira, which then sets the naira off to find its own equilibrium. All of those will impact on the market, and as we're seeing. But should he have done it? Yes, it not only should, it must do it. It's by compulsion to do it. And what has happened to all of those monies? Let me actually let Babjide Sanwo speak to that space. What has happened to all of those monies harvested from the subsidy removals?
I heard Rotimi Amechi saying that the money from subsidy remover is going to their pocket. It's a very responsible statement that Rotimi Amechi made, and he should be ashamed of himself. In a country where the president inherited about just 4 billion by way of foreign reserves, moved it from 4 billion to more than 20 billion. You are saying money saved from subsidy goes into pockets. 7 billion, we had 7 billion to pay by way of pay to creditors, including airlines.
Exactly.
The government came,
freed up, and
he came, paid that indebtedness, wiped out that indebtedness, and told anybody who has claims to come over. The CBN did that. And you are saying the money goes into pocket. People, politicians open their mouths wide to say absolute rubbish that they cannot defend. They know that in all cases you cannot, people are not interested in going to court.
Okay.
You know? So if you want to do a bad day, you shouldn't do a bad day just with the intention of creating, having a cheap shot at controversy. What Rotimi Amechi, who today is parading himself as the champion of democracy in our country, when is the direct opposite of that, amounts to a cheap shot at controversy. Because he cannot defend all of those things. It was the government that he served that owed all of that money that have now been cleared. It cannot...
the IMF.
Yes, it cannot be selective in terms of the truth that he sees. And Rotimi Amechi is not entitled to his own version of the truth. The truth is by nature self-evident. You cannot say that all of the money, when we can see clearly that states are earning a lot more, and you are saying it's going to their pocket. I mean, it's a silly thing to say. And he knows it in his heart that it has not made any sense. And Nigerians are good at something. Somebody starts something. Even if it does not make sense, others are simply repeating it. Some of the nonsense that Rotimi Amechi said now, some people will be asking, and they won't ask Rotimi himself questions. The Rotimi was the person who closed the judiciary for a whole year. He's now posturing as a Democrat.
Yes, in Rivers. Yeah, I think the only question
is the complete opposite of a Democrat.
I think the question is...
We are historians. We still remember these things.
Absolutely.
And he was boasting on TV that they were lucky that he could have given weapons to thugs. That when lawyers were marching through the streets, that he could have given weapons to thugs to go and beat them up when they were marching. That's the same person. He thinks that some Nigerians have forgotten. No. Some of us don't forget things easily.
We'll get the tape and play it for him here one day. Okay.
So there it is right there. So that's Rotimi Amechi being drawn and quartered right there. So that's Rotimi Amechi being drawn and quartered. So now, I've often said on this platform that we have the biggest problem we have in Nigeria is the North. And I think the Northerners are starting to hands up on that as well. Watch this.
Only in the North, you will see a man that can barely take care of a child like me, having 10 kids and 2 wives. And nobody is questioning how he treats his kids. Nobody is questioning how he feeds, educates, or even giving them just basic necessary needs. No law, no person, and no policy. This is so sad. And I hope the next government coming in will put in place policies that will enable our kids to grow safely and healthier, even within the space of their own parents.
So there it is right there. So there it is right there. So and so say all of us. That's all I have to say to that. So now this controversy there that a lot of people came here to talk about on this platform about the country borrowing heavily, the latest being $25 billion. Here is the Minister of Finance speaking to that. Watch this.
The impression that Nigeria will borrow $25 billion in 1 year or even 2 years is totally erroneous and incorrect, and definitely the wrong impression and the wrong way to interpret the external rolling borrowing plan. If you want to look to see how much will be borrowed in any given year according to our plan, in 2025, the external borrowing is just $1.2 billion by the Debt Management Office and up to $2 billion under the multilateral borrowing program. And that multilateral borrowing program is where all these projects are. And they do not pay down, you don't take the money in one go. It's scheduled over time, and you need to meet so many conditions. And essentially, it is concessional financing. It is cheap financing from the likes of the World Bank, African Development Bank, Japanese International Cooperation Agency, the French, and so on and so forth. So it is totally the wrong picture to feel that Nigeria would borrow $25 billion in 1 year.
Right. So hopefully that settles that, but I suspect it would not because the naysayers, like I said, never let facts get in the way of a good story. That's the way the opposition works in Nigeria. It's a fact-averse sort of a space. Never let fact or truth or reason or logic. In fact, let me play you this clip. Never let facts get in the way of a good story. And that is the politics of the Peter Obi and his band of let me not say silly words. So never let facts get in the way of a good story.
Have you noticed that thinking for yourself is now considered elitist? That being educated is suspicious? That checking facts is somehow censorship? Congrats, you're living through the collapse of intellectualism. It didn't happen overnight. This was methodical, and here's how it works. Step 1, rebrand ignorance as common sense. If a fact makes them uncomfortable,
right, that's all I needed. Rebrand ignorance as common sense, which might well be the middle name of the obedience. Rebrand ignorance as common sense. Rebrand ignorance as common sense. Let me play you one more clip. There's still several readouts, but it looks as though whenever I upload the readout, it trains the thing. So let me play you one more clip.
Out there in the streets, in the markets, and what we're buying. So, how do you think the economic policies are they getting better? That's the question.
Good question.
Do we have, how long do you think we can give it so that we can see the benefits of
yes, when would the fundamentals reach us?
How long do I think we can give it? I'm not the president.
Okay. Because from the metrics on ground, you can give us.
So first of all, these conversations, they are more often than not a shouting contest. And the reason why they are a shouting contest is because there's no nuance. It's, the Naira is at this price. But one of the reasons why I went to school is so I don't do shouting contests. I argue based on numbers, based on reality, based on what is there, based on data. So in that sense, first of all, let's just be clear. Inflation for 2024 was 31% thereabout, 31 point something percent. In February, which was the last time I checked, was 23%. Year on year, 8%. That's massive. The other thing you said about the Naira, the truth of the matter is we didn't used to have the exchange rate, we didn't used to have enough to go around. I had a very, very bad experience 10 years ago. I was traveling. It was my first time, not traveling, my first time of that experience. I was in Dubai. I was trying to pay. I had 3 or 4 Naira cards.
And all of them didn't work.
Oh boy, it was embarrassing.
Very embarrassing.
So I went to the ATM. It couldn't pay. Somehow I had $100 with me.
Saving grace.
You saved me, right?
Jesus.
And I think a lot of Nigerians have that sort of experience. Now that's not the case, right? And the reason is because there is convergence. The reality of convergence basically means that the price of the forex, whether it's pounds or dollar, in the official market and the black markets are as close as possible, which has removed the need for corruption. The other thing is that we had a system where privileged people could access USD when they were traveling, and actually the government was funding people's travel. It doesn't matter what you are going to do, whether you're working for an extremely rich company, whether you're going to do some funny things with some other people abroad, whether you're going to do business for yourself. The government was the difference was such that the government was funding your air ticket and your hotel accommodation if you're not living like a 5-star, if you're not going to stay in a 5-star hotel. And what the government did this time was to converge it. And I personally think that one of the best things to have happened to Nigeria was a combination of the full subsidy removal and the convergence, because those two things have multiplier effects on our lives. And like I said when we started, the effects have not compounded enough to affect the people, but if you're paying attention, and the people that get paid to pay attention have actually said this, the Fitch of this world, the S&P Global, the Moody of this world, they've upgraded Nigeria. all three of them have, one of them already upgraded Nigeria to stable. I think it was S&P Global.
Wow.
Fitch and Moody upgraded Nigeria recently to stable. So we are a stable economy. And those ones, they don't do your PDP, APC, and etc. They are in the business of this thing, and they need to get it right. If they miss it, they lose their credibility, they lose their perception of objectivity. So in the reality of, first of all, our stock exchange has grew by 111% over the first 2 years of this administration. It's a record in Nigeria. The foreign direct investment is coming in. The state governments, one mistake we're making is that we're paying so much attention, and we've done this for so many years. But if there was ever a time, we should pay more attention to the subnational government. It's now. Last year, they got an extra 6 trillion naira. Unprecedented, and they are getting more than ever before. And that's because of these changes. And then I saw a politician say that the subsidy, and a politician that actually was recently in government, so it's not something they should have said. They ought to know better. So it's either, and I think the person knew better. They said that all the subsidy savings, where is it? Because the person knew
that is going to the government.
As of 2022, we're selling bonds of $2 billion or 2 billion. It was $2 billion or 2 billion euros, more or less the same thing anyway, to pay for subsidy. So when you say subsidy savings, it's not like you had the money, like, so I'm not spending it, I'm saving it. You were borrowing to do it. Exactly. So now you can borrow to build. And these are fundamental realities. But the unfortunate thing, and it's not really unfortunate, it's the reality of an economy, is that they've not compounded enough. The effects have not compounded enough to affect people. Eventually they will. If we stay consistent, if we stay grinding, if we double down, eventually they ultimately will. Because the truth is, there's predictability. When you do this, it's about the first principles. It's like economics. It's like physics. E equals MC squared. So if you do this, this will happen. If you do that, that will happen. So in this case, it's not as hard as science. Economics is not as hard as science as physics, but the first principles are more or less the same. If you do this, you will get that. And we've gotten certain things that we're supposed to. We're getting certain things that we're supposed to get, and ultimately, I believe that the compound effect will start reflecting in the people's lives.
So the economy will sound like we're on track, but we'll take a break.
So there it is right there. I couldn't have put it better myself, and I mean that literally, because I don't have the expertise. But I concur. Is what all I'll say to that. I concur. I'm in accordance. I'm in lockstep with whatever it is that guy just said. In lockstep with whatever it is that guy just said. We play the K guides and everybody turns up for a conversation. The K guides.
Only water, only water, where they see ma. Water, only water, where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sọ́dí àkẹ́kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Chifu Wáìlà tí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùdóde ojàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosonama ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní rí wà gbéṣe o.
myself and you, my friends. Joining us, we have Zita. So there's Zita right there. We still have the star. So there's the star right there. So there it is. That's the assembled so far. Who wants to kick it off? I think you have to kick it off, Zita. I'm not quite sure the star is Can anyone hear me? Is anyone here? I'm not sure that this session will have any legs. Is Zita there or the star is there or?
I'm here. You break very often. So I think you have to adjust your systems.
Am I breaking up or are you breaking up?
Yes, it's either it's cracked or we miss you completely, or the audible is it's unusually distorted this time around. And anyway, in absent if there's no
the
one,
audio is very glitchy. Is that?
Yes, but now you are clear now.
Shall we just?
Yeah. Let me. If there's no one to, let me take up there.
Shall we just end it? I mean, if it's not working, then it's not working. It's not.
The audible, the communication.
I can't hear you. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
One man, allow him to speak now. You're cracking. Let him speak. But you have to bring people into the panel and let them talk. By the way, we are having all these days.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Madam Sita.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
I can hear you. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can hear me.
We can hear you, one man, but the thing is that sometimes it's as if you are breaking up. But don't worry about that. Now it's on your own end. Allow the people in. Let him speak while others come in.
Yeah, the two areas that I want to wish I can say that I hear you clearly or when I join is this issue of economic status or the progress report. One thing that many people, some people maybe that are not giving Tinubu credit for in this in this governance is except if we choose not to be if we choose to be economical with truth. The thing is, by the time Tinubu took over the baton from Buhari in 2023, Nigeria is practically bankrupt because if you were to be in overseas, in abroad, which we are, at least for you not to be able to meet your obligations, where we are using 97% of our revenue or income to surface debt, just in interest on the debt alone. And again, I think some people, their memory may be too short. Otherwise, Nigeria has gotten to a stage that we are in an embarrassing situation whereby every airlines, foreign airlines that are operating in Nigeria, to Nigeria, their money were trapped. They couldn't. There was no money. There was no dollars for them to repatriate their money back, which made this Dubai Emirates to suspend indefinitely their operations in Nigeria, and with many airlines either withdrawing their services or about to, until Tinubu came in. So part of this subsidies and stuff, they use it all the more to as we are talking today now. Every foreign airlines were able to get their money, they pay them off. So now, then during Jonathan, before by the time Buhari took over the government, we all knew what happened. Some of the state government, they were unable to pay salaries. In fact, Buhari had to bail out some of the state governors. But today, none of such a scenario will experience again. And this means a waste trillions of naira that this Buhari they printed got out, where the Tinubu paid everything back. Like the situation we are in before Tinubu came in is like the practice in the past. I mean, by the locals, when we are having a saw. I mean, this let's say some pupils then or locals, young ones, when they have a saw, instead of these little kids, instead of them to get their wounds be treated, they would rather when they are going to school or wherever, they would rather cover their sore, their wound with a dust or something like that to cover while they manage and that was the scenario upon which Buhari or let's say Nigerians was being run before Tinubu comes in. The financial engineering for decades, let's say for the past 15 years, this is the first time that we are having a serious financial engineering. Of course, we may say that the cushion effect from the government, Tinubu may not be it might seem that it's not all that proactive to satisfy many people. That I should think government can do more, better. But then let us give Tinubu a flower where he deserved. So that is what all this Amishi, all of them, they have been economical with truth. Otherwise, I did mean that Tinubu did not do what he did when he came in. That's subsidy remover, and look at even the foreign exchange, the parallel markets. Now, many people, especially the bankers, some of them, not even Dangote that we are praising today, many of them, especially those that are close to Emefiele, practically just like what Senator Ojikalu said. Many people did not even, some of these big men in corridor of power, they did not even bother to work. You can just be sit in your sitting room whereby you got take money out from the CBN. Okay, 1 billion. You take it to the black market. Of course, all these malams they were there that were fronting for them, and they made so much money. Even you could see that when Tinubu came in, there is every Dangote a refinery that is not even yet completed, let alone taken off. He had paid, I think, a certain percentage of money because he got a private, classified information that Tinubu is going to break. Is going to remove the autonomy between parallel market and the official rate. These are the people that they got, many of them, including Dangote. They got many of them. They got money out officially from the government and take it to the did the round tripping. And they got how many billions back. But all of them, who are the beneficiaries? Who are the receiving end? I and you, ordinary Nigerians. It has gotten to a stage that you cannot go to bank. You cannot even pay school. You cannot even get dollars to pay school fees. You cannot say you are traveling down. In the past, you just walk to your bank and tell the kid that you are traveling with your traveling ticket. At least you are guaranteed that you will be paid.
Good morning, sir. Are you talking to us or are you talking to your class students?
I can't understand I can't really understand your question.
Are you talking to us here or are you talking to your students?
If that is the context at which you look at it.
Because I don't understand everything you say.
Which area did you didn't understand?
Everything you talking, I'm not understand.
Okay. Is there any other person that did not understand me?
Are you saying you disagree? Because I think it's I think it's quite clear in what he's saying. Are you saying you disagree, and we can't hear you properly as well? By the way, Patrick. So just carry on this style. I think this Patrick.
Okay. So I think on that, I should think with my submissions. I think although we've not gotten there. Tinubu, there's a room for Tinubu should be able to do better than what he's doing. But at least this Amishi and Co, they have been economical with truth, and we are government do something that we let us appreciate where they do something good and where their shortcomings we can point it out. So that is my submissions in that area. Then is there any question or you want me to go into a little bit of politics?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think going to politics, the way I say, I think a few days ago, I did hello?
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I think if you read the body language of Amishi, he was trying to play himself into the political space in order to edge out Peter Obi, and as it is most likely to achieve the same. And going to that, if he actually succeeded, because he might either peer article, he most likely peer article with the way things is going. Then I think it is not a good good calculation in the part of the oppositions, because one, Amechi is somebody that does not even have a base. In his base, even while as a city governor, he could not even get 25% as a city governor. You know, the elections that they conducted in 2015, and as a DG, the campaign DG of Buhari in 2019, the same thing he couldn't get. So what is the bragging right? Is he or goodwill is he bringing in? And for financial wise too, I don't think he could have a financial war chest that the PDP normally rely. You know, PDP from the past decades, even during OBJ, they normally rely on the money of a rivers that is coming from rivers. Now the money is dried. Now it's no longer there, because Fubara now, even as I told you, as at this afternoon, Fubara released a pictures himself and Tinubu in his place in Lagos. So that place is been shut. There another where they can even get financial watches again is a data. The data is closed. So I don't know how they are going to do it. So with this, because sooner than later now, you will see the obedient camp. They will engage Atiku and El Rufai in the fierce beyond battle. It will now be obedient versus Atiku camp. So with that, you will see that it is not going to it will not speak well for the oppositions. So let me step aside. Hello, let me stop from there.
All right, thank you, the star. So who wants to go next? People are saying they can't hear me well, so I'm not quite sure if I'm even in the conversation. Zita, are you ready? Do you want to say some words?
Somebody should speak again before I speak. I want to come in later. Hello, can you people hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Hopefully you can hear me too.
Yeah, I can hear you. Just
all right, Patrick, floor is yours. Patrick or Oroyo then.
Hi, woman.
Yeah,
I just want
how
to.
are you? We're having so much of. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I just want to speak on Rotimi Amechi. I think Rotimi Amechi, that guy is not. To me, he's not a politician anyway. So he just talks like normal Agbero guy.
because I could remember Rotimi Amechi from I think 1999 to date. He has been in. I think the only time he has not been in power is these 2 years now. So the first thing I will ask, what has been his impact? Because he said something that is really funny to me. Because these guys, they always come under, when they want to speak, they will speak about tribalism, gravitor, and the rest. When Rotimi was doing this railway project, every state where the project cut across, he brings his own men to come and do the work. Even the people from that place, they have no contribution, they have no input on those things. But the same person will come out and be speaking as if he is next to God. I think these guys are really, really taking us for a ride. I think they are taking us for a ride. And my major problem with Nigeria is that tomorrow now, you will see everybody will be singing what Rotimi said. They don't use their brain to think on their own. So these politicians normally use their brain for them. They think, they come outside. Once they speak something, before you know, just like this they are saying now, they will tell you after you explain everything about the microeconomics of the country, they will tell you, so how does that put food on the table for the common man? You will see, once you have any conversation with them, the next question they will ask you, how does that put food on the table for a common man? And as a truth, and as a
you are right.
Is that not the main measure though for all of the macroeconomic and whatever? If it's not putting food on the table of the common man, it's not working.
But one thing you need to understand, let us go back to where we are coming from. If we continue, nobody is even ready to borrow us money. So if we continue with the subsidy, I'm not telling you that everything is rosy. If we continue with the subsidy and nobody is ready to borrow us money, how will that put food on the table for the common man? Has there been food on the table for the common man before, prior to 2023? Those are the questions we should ask ourselves. We have no option, because I see people, when they come out, they would like to make mention of China, Singapore, this. At the time.
Can I say something? You didn't put it well. There is no policy that government put in place to put food on the table of a common man all over the world except welfare. It's only welfare that put food directly on the table of a common man. When I mean welfare, I mean all those food stamps and the pantries and those outside of all this. The rest policies, all it does is that make you work hard to put food on your table. Simple.
Thank you. So at the end of the day, Nigeria got to a situation whereby we don't have any option again. Because as a matter of fact, when we have a lot of money, if we had done certain things, we wouldn't have been at where we are now. Just imagine somebody saying the problem we have as a nation is how to spend the money. So as at then, if we have gone into re-agriculture, did our infrastructure, railway, all those kind of stuff, by today we won't be talking about all these things now. Even during COVID, I got to realize something, that all over the Western world, if not for the system they built, if not for system that they have developed, there is nothing magical they are doing. There is nothing magical. Because I'm in Australia.
What happened in Australia? Once America do this one, Australia will copy America. Everybody sit at home. Everybody do breath tests. It's just, that's what they are doing. But at the end of the day, you will see Nigerians. They will come outside. They will want to sing praises of some previous leaders who did not build any system. Me, I don't even really care about all this food and stuff. My concern is I need something that even if you put goats there as the head of state, the country will still function. That is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for somebody who just come like the way they say Obi improve education in Anambra State. Immediately he left. Education zero. He built roads. Immediately he left. All the roads went away with him. Is that the kind of system we are looking for? That's not the kind of system I'm looking for. So, at the end of the day, I think this man still
do you think that Tinubu's policies are removing food from the table of Nigerians?
To me, I don't think the policy is removing food from anybody's table. The truth of the matter is, it's just that we don't want to tell ourselves the truth. Some of us, we know what we passed through. There has never been a day that Nigeria is El Dorado. Like many a times, they will talk about bag of rice. Even when bag of rice was, let me say 6,000, people were not still buying bag of rice. So all those things are just, I just feel that when you find yourself in a situation, just adjust before things will move on. As a matter of fact, even this administration is trying their possible best to save cost for Nigeria. For example, they are trying to use to build solar power in Aso Rock. Do you know how much it will save the country? But at the very first beginning, you will look at it, maybe they are taking out 10 billion to do that project. You will rant and shout, oh, they don't care, they don't do this thing. But subsequently, you will know how much it will be saving the country. So, anyway, everybody, the only way they still have 2 more years to perform, and they have 2 years to vote him out. So it is all left for them. Once
speak to us about the opposition space a little bit, because there's a lot of movements. The coalition, it looks as though now they are forming a consensus around Rotimi Amechi to present him. But then there's the permutation of Atiku Amechi. So if they present Atiku Amechi, then it will have to be Peter Obi running under Labour Party again. And if Peter Obi runs under Labour Party again, then you have to have then Prince Adewale and El Rufai running SDP. So it's going to be somewhat of a convoluted field, 2027.
Woman, 2027, for the fact that Tinubu has already spent, let me say by 2027, he has spent 4 years. That first 4 years, I've already given him 50% chances of returning by permutation. Because from the other region, there are people waiting to take over. And they will be more comfortable to wait for 4 years than to wait for 8 years for another person. And the truth of the matter is, no Nigerian politician who will enter that place and tell you that I signed 4 years and we do 4 years. Let us not deceive ourselves. Power is very sweet. They don't go to church. They don't go to church. You can't be more holy when it comes to power. And the truth of the matter, no matter the coalition they will do, it will not work. Because number one, everybody wants to be. Everybody wants to be. And one thing again, you check again. Even the people that wants to be, what is their electoral value in their own place? Just imagine somebody who does not have control of his own region now. He will tell you he wants to be president. How is that possible? It's not possible now. And many people.
Do you see? Because Peter told us that after 2027 he's not going to be contesting again. It's not as though he even has a choice anyway, because 2027 ends his career. And then also Atiku, you don't expect Atiku to run in 2031 again. But Rotimi Amechi, I think this will be his only throw of the die. So how many of these people that are in play now do you anticipate we'll see in 2031?
Everybody playing, everybody throwing their card now. None of them will be relevant in 2031 again. Because the truth of the matter is the youth we are clamoring for, their roadmap for youth to become the president is through their Suwaju this thing. That is the only way they can get it. If not, these other ones, if you say Atiku now, and sometimes I just love obedience. Okay, let me assume that you agree to work with Atiku, Obi agreed to work with Atiku as a VP. So at the end of the day, by 2031, maybe Atiku will be approaching 90. Even when the man can't work, the cabal will still be doing the work now. I think this man, Robert Mugabe, is one of the example. So then at the end of the day, you will not say the agreement, he did not keep to the agreement. So even all of them, one man, all of them, they know that after this 2027, there is no hope for them again. After this 2027, there is no hope. So that's why they are doing what they are doing. But
is that why we're not seeing any fresh face joining them? There's no fresh face. It's just the usual tired. We're not seeing any dynamic sort of politician joining them in their journey. It's just the usual suspects. That's all it is.
Yeah, because the usual suspects are angry now. So they are not coaliting because of Nigeria. They are coaliting because of themselves. I used to tell people that any politician you see is his own personal interest first before the masses. His own interest supersedes your own interest. Because, okay, just imagine, let me ask you this question. Just imagine that the way Tinubu is now, that Tinubu loves the country so much, he will now bring out his $2 billion, put it on the line to go and contest for election for you. It doesn't really add up. If he does not have anything that is going to benefit, it won't. Politics is business, so it's just an investment. He's investing. So no matter what you do, no matter what you say, he will still do what he wants to do. At the end of the day, a politician will always be politician. They will come. They will tell you what you need to hear, and at the end of the day, they will pack their load and go to their house.
All right. Is there anything else you want to add before we go on to Patrick?
I didn't even follow up with the topic, so
Yeah, you've pretty much covered it anyway, because where we are now is just the narrative of the alignments and realignments, people coming together, people moving around.
Okay, let me just say this thing, because I try to follow up what is happening there. I discover, because even in that same birthday, Siraki Dixon spoke. When Siraki Dixon was trying to warn them that there are some people who are experts in forming coalition. I think they formed against a novice like Jonathan, but in this case, they are dealing with he put it somehow that they are dealing with a politician that, as they form their coalition, that they should shine their eye. That was what Siraki Dixon told them. And even like Bayelsa, I could remember when Oluremi Tinubu went to Bayelsa State. Doye Diri said something. When he wanted to talk about the president, he said the president knows how to collaborate. So if he says the president knows how to collaborate, that means he's going to work for the president. So even some of these, just the way they are forming coalition, the president as well is forming coalition as well. But the problem I have with some of these Nigeria media houses is that it is only when the president take an action or make a move, that is when you will see them shouting, hey, he's not focusing on government, he's focusing on politics, which doesn't really make sense to me. So you want him to just sit down like Jonathan and look at you people, then you ambush him. All right, thank you. Please go to the next person.
All right, brilliant. Patrick, you're up next. Patrick Uche. It doesn't say anything except it's interrupting somebody. Simba, you've just joined us, but I think Zita still needs a moment, so floor is yours, Simba.
Okay, let me fill in the gap before Zita will talk, because I'm busy preparing for work now. Let me just stop at least so that we can keep the show going. Okay, so Woman, good morning.
Good morning. Long time. I did, I just I took a few days off it,
I think it's better. It's better. You need rest. You need to rest.
So yeah, it's still this coalition. Rotimi Amechi is getting a stronger and a stronger voice. So what does that mean for Peter Obi? I don't even see Peter Obi being a part of this coalition anymore, because there's too many big ambitions. The same things that chased him out of PDP is what this coalition is looking like. The politicians there, they're too big for him.
You know what, man? When you mentioned Rotimi Amechi, you made me laugh. What does he have to sell? Just tell me, what does Amechi have to sell to Nigerians? What does he even? What is he going to be telling Nigerians?
I think their politics, all of their politics, right all the way through, is just Tinubu is bad, people are hungry. I think that is that's their campaign strategy. People are hungry. Is the price of rice? They'll do price of rice for 2027. That's the campaign strategy. Price of rice campaign.
Okay, that's the only thing. And if you say, okay, Nigerians are hungry, then you will tell us how you now put food on their tables. If you look at Rotimi Amechi, what Wike said about him is true. I don't think the guy can survive without being in power. Since the inception of this republic, I think he was a Speaker of the House before he became governor. He became minister, and these 2 years, perhaps, is the only time that he has not been in government. So, and what actually baffles me is that, this is somebody that were practically part of PDP, part of this so-called demonized APC. he was part of the people that even rose against Jonathan. So the people that will not be supporting him, what are they going to be looking at in him? What quality? What message? What has he done? All the opportunity he has had in the past, what has he done to better an average Nigerian? You understand? But because the kind of politics that we practice in Nigeria, it's not a politics of, say, we wanted maybe that we wanted the best for our country. The kind of politics is our turn politics. That's what we. So no matter whoever who is there, whatever they are saying doesn't really matter. Whatever they are saying, when it suits my own sentiment or your own sentiment, you just go away with it. You fly with it. That is the problem. Because if you look at somebody like Rotimi Amechi, even all the people that are parading themselves now, are they really worthy of somebody that an average Nigerian should be listening to? Is it Amechi? Is it El-Rufai? Is it Atiku? Is it even Peter Obi? So I don't know what they are doing. Any coalition that they are doing, that they are just putting Amechi there, to me, is a dead on arrival. There is nothing that Amechi can achieve for anybody. Where is the electoral value? Where is the stronghold? Even in the South, it cannot command any kind of vote. Say, is it Yoruba people that vote for, or Hausa people that vote for Amechi? Forget about that one. Amechi, any woman, any coalition
Yoruba people voted for Bill. Politics is not done that way.
Forget Obi is not Amechi is not Obi, and you two know, Zita. Amechi is not Obi.
As I said before, politics doesn't work that way.
Okay, okay. When it comes to your turn, you say what you want to say. So what I want to say is that any coalition that does not include Obi in the equation will fail.
That's where you go wrong again.
It will fail. Believe me, it will fail. If Obi should run on his own and we have another people making one coalition somewhere, and Obi is not in the equation, I don't think when is your turn, you come and tell us how that one will work, and how would that one not defeat Tinubu? Any coalition that
I don't see how we can work as well. Any coalition that, because Obi comes with a region, and then it comes with an appeal that even extends beyond this region.
No.
Okay, Zita, when is your turn? Come and tell us. I will be here. I'll be listening to you. So woman. So that is what I want to say about. They have not gotten what they wanted to do. They are just moving around. They are confused, and they've not been able. Because one of the problems they have is that all of them are very ambitious, and they don't. None of them want to actually, bury or shed their own ambition for the coalition to work. So let's see, because it's already getting too late. We're already in June. By this time of next year, I think we'll be dealing with the primaries of the the parties. So by now, if they have not be able to get anything, I don't know what is going to happen. So that's what I want to say about the coalition. Is there any other thing?
They've not even still identified the party they are going to use anyway. Although they are saying the ADC and whatnot, but they are not. They've not identified the party.
Obi himself is confused. Obi is afraid of saying he wanted to leave Labour Party, and he's also afraid of what his followers will say, because him following another person, maybe as a running mate, will not actually. Though some of them don't mind though, but leaving Abga for PDP for Labour, and then now we say he's going to another party.
With PDP to Abga.
So now leaving Labour to another party is just like he too is looking at it as if, why is it like somebody like a woman that doesn't stay in one man's house as just going about
for a politician anyway.
Okay, so that one to me is also one of the negatives that is looking at us, Because as it is presently, most of his followers, even most of his people that are very close to him, like there's one man from Anambra, I think his name is Obasi or Seluk or something like that. He just left, resigned from Labour Party also. So, and he said he's not going to join any party for now. So there are so many things that's going on in Labour Party. I think what he needs to do is to have a way of fixing whatever problem that they are having in that party. But from what I can see from him, I don't think he even have the capacity, and he's not even doing anything to resolve that problem in Labour Party. So his own political future is also hanging in the balance. So
we're also looking at the tension that is building up between Tinubu and Sanwo Olu. Are you following that?
Hello, I can't hear you again. I can hear you. Okay, I mean, I don't know much about legal politics, so I don't know what is actually brewing between Tinubu and.
He ignored him in the commissioning program.
When Tinubu went to commission the
He went to commission something and Sanwo Olu, he ignored him. That's all.
So is he? No, I think it's Tinubu that ignores Sanwo Olu. It's not Sanwo Olu that ignores.
That's what I'm saying now. Tinubu ignored Sanwo Olu. Like, I don't know what they mean by ignoring, but I don't know whether they wanted them to do high five. I don't know.
I think it's the media that is actually sensationalized, and they have to be careful. I think that one, I don't think is any major problem. They know how they will settle themselves now. I don't think there's going to be any serious friction between Tinubu and Sanwo Olu. Sanwo Olu is already doing his last time. So that one is not something that I don't think is actually very serious. Who is Sanwo Olu?
Sanwo Olu's case with Tinubu is like the NEPA man with Ojukwu in Enugu State in those days, so it doesn't really mean anything.
Exactly. And then one man, we are talking about the economy, and you are saying that any economy that doesn't put food on the table of an average Nigerian, what kind of economy was that? Is that the question that you're asking?
Yes, no. Oroyo was saying that the opposition argument is always, as well as Tinubu keeps reporting that the economy is doing, that the opposition argument is that the economy is not putting food on the table of Nigerians. So they're not able to afford food in spite of where they'll tell us, oh, Fitch has done our ratings up. Oh, the foreign reserves has increased to XYZ. Oh, they struck this deal, they struck that deal, and all of this sort of narrative, but still, it's not putting food on the table of people. The Nigerians cannot afford life, which then tells you then what does that mean? All
Okay, one man. I want to ask you this: when you said affordability, there are two ways for affordability. If let's say you cannot afford something because you don't have enough money to buy it, or you don't even have money at all. Nigerians before, one man, this is what I passed through as a doctor when they were not paying salary in Nigeria. One man, I could not pay the school fees of my children. We could not even be able to buy food. You understand? The food are there. People assume that the foods are very cheap, but we don't even have money because we are not even paid. So which one did Nigerian want? The one that they will say, oh, the food is cheap, but they don't have money? Or,
You are here now, one man. We are hearing you.
So is that situation where Nigeria was before Tinubu came in, if all those policies changes that he actually all those decisions that he took, if we did not take all those decisions, maybe we will have been like a Zimbabwe or Venezuela by now. But Nigerians don't know that because the politicians, they are deceiving, the opposition are deceiving Nigerians. Because Nigerians don't even know the true situation of that country. You cannot be borrowing money to be insulating everything that you are saying. Everything that Nigerians were enjoying that time were actually being subsidized. Even the food, because if you subsidize naira, dollar, and you imported rice, definitely you have subsidized the price of that rice. So that means practically Nigeria were living on subsidies on everything. And we are not, it's not as if we have the money to be doing that. We are borrowing money to do that. So for how long can we continue that? That is the situation. But most Nigerians doesn't know. The only thing that we know is that we could drop be deceiving us. Okay, now we cannot eat. It's only food. But if you look at all the indices, I think we are making progress. Even if you look at the inflation before Buhari came in,
Okay.
and presently, the inflation is almost the same. Inflation is almost the same. And even the big people that are doing business now, with the stable foreign exchange that we have now, I think it's better now. People now the price of things are stable. Because then, when you have, they said the Buhari was selling dollar for 400 and something. And then the only way you can get it is about almost 800 naira. Almost like 300 to 400 naira gap in between. And that one does not even support local production, because if you say you produce, you export, probably you produce at the parallel market rate, you export. By the time you want to repatriate your money, you have to repatriate it as the official rate. So it was not even encouraging export, because you get lost. And that is why even most of the people that are doing business in Nigeria, the airlines, they were not able to even repatriate their money. And that time, they were even forcing Nigeria. Anytime, I remember that time, if you want to even book your ticket, they say you have to pay in dollars. They don't want to, they are not taking naira again. But all those situations now are gone. Nigerians now, you cannot buy your ticket, buy it in naira, because they know that they can repatriate their money. So things are really improved. The only thing that an average Nigerian can say, okay, food. But if you look at every other things that make life easy for people, the indices are good. You want to say something, Zita?
Okay. Are you done?
Yeah. Go. You can go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I don't know what happened to one man. One man has not been here for some time. The last time we talked on this platform was about 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And then I spoke in a platform. I was shocked at the abuse I got. I told them Tinubu's achievements, and I told them the places he's doing badly, and then that we should face the area he's doing badly and criticize him on that, ginger him on that to see whether he will do better. They abused me, and I made a categorical statement to them. I said, right from the inception of Nigeria to date, no government has been totally bad. There are some areas that strive. Yes, the first people Nigeria was handed over to made a grievous mistake by going into war. But that doesn't overrule the fact that there are one or two things they do during their own time. So for you to come and say a government is a total failure, I don't know where you got that one from. But if you're expecting me to say that, I'm not going to say that. But if I'm not going to say that and you say I'm Tinubu supporter, that's still fine. They abused me. 2 days later, I got a phone call. Somebody in Poland, a Nigerian that was in Finland, that was listening to that platform, went to fact check me on the things I said, right in Finland, not in Nigeria. Checked through the Finland government and everything in their own portal. He found out that all the things I said Tinubu did was right. I said he has opened 3 cancer tests, because The things that are important to some haters are not the things that are important to me as a person. I look at health, I look at education. Because you cannot put food on the table of somebody who is dead. It is not done. I told them in that platform that Tinubu has opened within 2 years, three massive cancer centers in Nigeria for free. And I told them that today in Nigeria, cesarean section is free for any pregnant woman that has problems. That being said, they fact-checked me and they apologized. That's okay. Then, when they were shouting, where is the money for what is it called?
Subsidy removal.
Subsidy. In this platform, I said, which money? I was abused. It was either Kulata or was it Fatai that came and said there was even no money anywhere, that they borrow money to pay them those huge amounts that they are saying they did not even bring any fuel. They go and sign paper that they brought fuel, and they say Nigerians are drinking fuel. So they consume this, they consume that. They say, where is the money? Where is the money? Unfortunately, Amechi said they're putting the money in the pocket. I don't understand where the money is in the first place for them to put it in the pocket, because there was no money for subsidy. They borrowed to pay that subsidy. So all they did was to stop borrowing to pay for subsidy. So
Exactly.
Nobody should be saying, where is the money for subsidy removal? I don't get it. But that's by the way. Now, let me go to where areas Tinubu is not doing well. And I think, but before I say that, let me say this. From the inception of Nigeria to date, food prices have been going up. It has not come down. The amount you were buying food during the time of Tafawa Balewa is not the amount you bought it through Senior Yaradua. It is not the same amount during Chagare. Neither is it the same amount. Even when Buhari wanted to enforce it as a military man, it wasn't still the same amount. It wasn't the same amount during Obasanjo, all the military men and all the military junta till Obasanjo came. It wasn't still the same amount. The only thing any government all over the world, though, I'm not talking about Nigeria, because when I want to, before they start giving me an example of in a slant line, all over the world, it's not only Nigeria. But the things government do that I have been saying is to put welfare. But the way Nigeria is, you cannot put welfare. You go bankrupt. There is standard, environmental standard for welfare to survive. So Nigeria don't have that environmental standard yet. So they're not getting welfare. So those are the things other governments put in place and then try to struggle to stabilize their economy for 6 months. It goes up, they stabilize it for another 6 months, and everybody keeps going. And they create job so that people can buy things and then at least manage to solve their problem. These two areas, job creation and insecurity, security, Tinubu is failing in these two areas. I make bold to say it. And how I wish that the opposition people will capitalize on that. But even at that, he still have a defense, because that is what is actually affecting the economy, the food on the table. Because these people are invading farmlands, disturbing farming, disturbing normal, ordinary cash staple crops Nigerians go get for pennies. These guys are disturbing it. They're littered all over the place. People are so scared. I remember in those days, Mama can take her hoe and go to the farm alone in the forest, farming. Papa can go to the farm alone, farming. When he's tired, he come back. The people eat in the farm, drink their water. When they are tired, they come back home. But today, fear, you cannot even do that. South, the southeast, northeast, northwest, even in southwest. That thing should be taken care of. And I was so surprised that no politician is hitting so hard on that area. Whether they give them juju, I don't know. And until that thing is sorted out, it should do. I will score him 10% on that area. Same as electricity, social amenities, which is number one. One of them is electricity. He's not providing it. He should do more in that area. That being said, now let's go back to politics. Hello, is everybody there? Hello?
We are here. We are here.
We are listening to you.
Okay. Simba, let me ask you a question. You said any collation that Obi is not will not have her. That's a big lie from the pit of hell. Politicians do their math. Don't assume they're idiots. They are not idiots. I was smiling to myself. I said, so politicians know who Obi is. And they knew how he got the 6 million votes. Because I was expecting them to, the way the 6 million votes was being chanted, that being accorded and respected and seen as a win. I thought politicians would just grab Obi and make him their presidential candidate. So PDP rejected him as a presidential candidate. So he has no choice than to go back to LP. That's what it simply means. Are you there? Hello, Simba.
Yes, I'm with you.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You on your own side, that you've been listening to internet, all the headless mob running everywhere, praising the 6 million votes, making him a prominent figure to reckon with in politics. And I ask you, why are his fellow politicians not surrounding him and surround him and make him instant presidential candidate? Why not so? If he's that important. I'm asking you, Simba, now. Why not so? Why are they forming collation this way, collation that way, collation the other way, which from what we are hearing
because
now,
all of them they are not ready to surrender their ambition. All of them were.
You don't understand my question. It's not a question of surrendering ambition. Please understand me.
Let me answer you. The reason why they are not making Obi their presidential candidate is the 2023. That like in streets they do call it key. That key has expired, number one, and then number two, in 2023 they just rebranded sour fufu. So that's the reason why.
Okay, thank you. That means you understood my question. That's what is the problem. In 2023,
Zita, you mean Obi now is not marketable? Is that what you are saying?
You are putting words into my mouth. What I am asking a simple question: if he's marketable to you, what stops them from making him the presidential candidate? Because from all they're doing, they want Tinubu out. So what end up if you
Yeah,
have
but
6
that's what
million
they are
votes?
making. No. They wanted Tinubu out, but all of them still wanted to be president. So it's not as if
It's the other guy that understood my point. It's not a question of they're forming coalition. How many now? I can count 4. And out of that 4, which some of them are even from ridiculous parties, none of them is wanting Obi to be their presidential candidate. So
Zita, let me ask you this question. Is there anyone among those 4 that has never contested to be president?
No, wait, yes. There is one that has never contested.
Who?
Bala Mohammed have not. His own coloration, he has not contested for president before.
But Bala Mohammed was not talking about coalition.
He is. He's even in the coalition in one other party.
No, Bala Mohammed
Don't
is
worry.
in PDP.
Don't worry. By September this year, the picture will be a bit clearer to you people. He is forming. He has formed his own. Atiku is forming. What is his name? El-Rufai is forming. Then will be on his own side. None of them, even others, are forming too. I've heard about 2 ridiculous parties too. So making it 6, and none of them wants to pick Obi. So they understand what happened. They are not idiots as I thought.
Madam, you are lying. Who told you all those rubbish you're talking? Sometimes you don't make any sense. Just in open mouth that talk nonsense. Who told you this thing? Who told you this thing now? Who told you this thing they said now?
Just continue with your
What did I say? What did
just say in America, they talk rubbish. Who told you nobody wants to be? Who told you that rubbish is talking now? Who told you? Are you a politician? Are you in Nigeria? Why are you talking rubbish?
Okay.
Why are you talking rubbish?
Okay, who wants him? Who wants him?
Everybody, every party in every party got well. Let me tell you.
Which of them want him as the
every
presidential
party
candidate
in that country now want to be. This APC want to be. If you don't know,
I asked you
you know they watch you. You know they listen. You know they watch news. You know they listen to news. You just come here, they lie. Yeah.
Why are you wasting your time?
You spread propaganda here. If you don't like Obi, I know you don't like Obi.
My space, can I finish?
The same thing you say, you say P2B cannot win. You say P2B cannot got any vote. You say if you take P2B, it's fight now, continue. You say P2B cannot got any vote.
When you get
propaganda.
You can speak.
It's a propaganda. I just they listen to you.
Can I finish? It is my space.
My ear they pay me.
I said it is my space. Can I finish my propaganda? I said it's my space. Can I finish my propaganda?
Patrick,
can I finish my propaganda now?
Patrick, she has had
Can I
just
finish
allow
when
her
it gets
to
to
If you don't stop, I will stop you. If you don't stop, I will stop you. Stop this spread propaganda.
You can't stop me.
I will stop you.
You can't stop me.
Do you know who I am? I will stop you. I will stop you.
Simba,
I will
as
stop
I
you.
was saying.
Stop talking rubbish.
Simba, are you there? Are you listening to me? Okay. As I was saying, so it is obvious now that they don't want him.
Cannot got any vote. Now you say
After everything, they're supposed to pick him and make him a presidential candidate.
Shut up your mouth.
So
shut up your mouth.
since they have not made him
What's going on? Hold on.
Go back to Labour Party. That is what is on ground now. Okay? So that being said, let me go from one individual
One man.
to the other.
Sorry, Zita, just keep just
what's going on?
One man, please. I don't
Yes.
know what you want to achieve. Every time this guy come, it doesn't make any contribution, but you keep on keeping him on the platform, and you'll be disrupting and be abusing people. Why do you normally bring him in? Anytime he comes, you keep him. You now, even after now, I'm very sure you still bring him in again. What is he contributing to your platform? He's not contributing anything.
He's suffering.
You call him to come and to talk. He didn't talk, and I don't know why you are still maintaining him to be on the platform.
No, I because it's an obedient voice, you know.
He's
not
saying anything now.
He's not contributing anything. So what are you saying?
It doesn't really matter. If he can engage,
I apologize for whatever I said. I stepped away from this thing for a moment. All I could then hear was just him. I couldn't even make out the words that he was saying, you know.
Yeah, because he said he's going to shut me up. Let me continue with I don't care. You know, I say a lot of bullshit. You see, one man, there is something about me. And I always tell people, I am for justice. I don't care who it is for against. I say things that people actually don't expect me to say most times. And it gets them very angry. If you are somebody who speaks with so much guts and you don't care, you shouldn't be so angry when the feedback is so annoying. Like the person gets so angry at you for saying that. I don't really care. They can abuse me. I'm used to them abusing me. I have my limits. It gets
the one thing I did hear you say, Zita. You said, "How come nobody is speaking Peter Obi?" But yes. I think you probably want to flip that. I think that statement is upside down because it is actually Peter Obi that is speaking. Not Peter Obi. Peter Obi is the beautiful bride in the opposition politics.
No.
Peter Obi is the beautiful bride now.
He's not.
Hold on now. Out of all of the people in play, the only person that has guaranteed votes is Peter Obi. El Rufai has no votes. Rotimi Amechi has even less votes than El Rufai. And Atiku's votes are really PDP votes. So if it's not in PDP, he has nothing. But the only person in the opposition space that can stand on that rostrum and guarantee X million of votes is Peter Obi. Okay. So he's the one picking, not the one being picked.
Okay. One man, as I said before I was interrupted by that guy, I asked a simple question. If it is what you think, you see that man you put out here that was speaking on behalf of Amechi should be speaking on behalf of Obi. The other guy understood what I am saying. If he's that beautiful pride as some people have placed him, you will understand that they are not idiots, as I thought. Obi got 6 million votes. He should be, if that 6 million vote was for real, he should be carried in 2 palms.
No, Obi doesn't have 6 million votes. Obi has about 3 to maybe about 3. I don't even think he has 4 million votes.
He's 6 million now.
No. That may be for 2023, but those votes, a lot of those votes are special purpose votes.
Hold on now.
So a lot of them don't carry. Obi can guarantee at 3 million votes at least. Yeah.
Let me explain to you.
Madam Zita, please let me just say this thing to one man. One man, do you think this guy, Benjamin Kalu, will allow what happened in 2023 to happen again for Peter Obi to disgrace him in 2027? Do you put that into perspective or put that into consideration?
I don't think Benjamin Kalu has any real. He doesn't have influence now. What influence does he have?
One man. One man. Don't worry, 2020.
You know, Peter Obi is like a religion to his people.
One man, don't worry. They've already started the work already. The work has been started.
Well, let me say what I want to say. I want to explain something to one man. You play by the rules of a beautiful bride. The beautiful bride don't play by your rules. I hope you understand that. So if you decide that P2B is a beautiful bride, if you walk into PDP should be at his beck and call. That's what a beautiful bride is all about. If you go to SDP will be at his beck and call. He decides.
Who is the most powerful? Hold on. Who is the most powerful opposition as we speak now?
It's still
opposition
Atiku.
figure.
It's still Atiku.
No, I don't think so. You know,
it's still Atiku. Let me tell you why it's still Atiku.
Okay, do you think Atiku carries votes as an individual?
Let me tell you why it's still Atiku. Number one, if you are using what happened in 2023 to call Obi a beautiful bride, then Obi is not the beautiful bride. The beautiful bride is Atiku because he came second. Now Atiku have control of half of PDP. He has control. He has a lot of PDP party members, his loyalists, who stick to him. He has a common ground in the north, which, excuse me, by virtue has a large number of people who can be motivated to vote. Atiku's own politics was not based on anything, and it is nothing. So he's still the strongest. His policies are not based on anything, and it's nothing. What do I mean by that? He can decide to run on another policy today. But Obi came in 2023 with, I keep saying this in this platform. Hate me, like me, I don't care. But it is not far away. We are just by the side. You get my point? By September, everything will be clearer to everybody. For now, they are not.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Does Atiku, because as an individual, I'm not talking about as a party, but as an individual, does Atiku carry followership amongst the electorates?
Yes, of course. He is the only one among all of them today screaming that they want to be the president. He is the only one that
No. That was the way I was taking you to. Where I was taking you to, Zita, is that Atiku's votes are PDP votes. Do you understand? But Obi's votes, they are not Labour Party's votes, they are Obi votes. So wherever Obi goes to, he carries those votes with him. But if Atiku leaves the PDP, he doesn't carry the votes. Because they are not voting for him, they were voting for the party structure.
Okay.
You know?
One thing you will understand is that Atiku has been contesting this election for a long time. And he has not done explicitly too bad.
Yeah, but he has been campaigning under major parties now.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry. You know, with this politics, like PDP, for instance, there was a time that PDP controlled over 30 states in Nigeria, and the presidential candidate of that party is guaranteed because every state governor then is then told to go and present their popularity in their own individual states. And the popularity, like for instance, now in Borno State, Tinubu might well take Borno State, not because they love Tinubu, but because of Shetima and Zulum. You know, all of those kind of things. But and then you say they voted for Tinubu, but they are actually voting for their local champion in most instances, who persuades them then that this is the direction of travel. And those were the votes that Atiku often gets. But the votes that Peter Obi gets, they are for him as an individual. He's the most powerful amongst the opposition figures.
One man, as I said before, if Atiku, let me say this, if PDP is divided today, as they are, and Atiku go to SDP, SDP or whatever, and PDP, as is divided today, give Peter Obi their ticket as presidential candidate, Atiku will get more vote than Peter Obi. I repeat, if PDP is as divided as it is today, and Atiku walks away to SDP, and somehow Peter Obi goes back to PDP and they give him their ticket, in SDP, Atiku will get more vote than Peter Obi.
No, if Atiku goes to SDP and Peter Obi stays at Labour Party, Peter Obi will beat him X3.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
He will get 3 times as that's what's going to happen anyway, because Atiku is not going to be the PDP candidate.
Let's see that.
Yes,
but let me say
it'll be interesting. But I think Obi is the most popular opposition figure.
He's not. His votes were based on something, and all those something, all of them are gone. You don't become a politician by basing your vote on sentiments like religion, ethnicity, hate for establishment. I think I counted 5. Woman, that's not even what I'm talking about. As long as I'm concerned, if Obi is that beautiful bride, they should grab him with 2 hands. I rest my case on Obi. If he is that beautiful bride as you people see him, and his fellow politicians are not seeing him that way, why not? If he is going to be the one to win the election, why not? I mean, I don't get it. If he has that massive support and massive
it doesn't have. Zita, it doesn't have massive support because, of course, he didn't win the last election. But what he has is cult following. He has cult following. Yeah. But that cult following is a mass. Do you understand? It's a mass. You know, so it doesn't have. They're quite a. Even if you boil it down just to regionality alone, Peter Obi commands as is Peter Obi's name is on the ballot, then we already know where a good 70% of Southeastern votes are going. So that's already a cachet, you know.
Okay, don't worry now. We are around the corner. But what I'm telling you is that the things that made that vote go that way in 2023 is gone. But if you sit down here and tell me they are still there, and I will keep repeating myself, as long as you keep...
No, what's gone? Hold on. So sorry, Zita, just let's take it step by step. So I agree with you half and 50%, maybe even 45% what you just said there. So the things that gave Peter Obi those votes in 2027 are gone. Yes, but we have to compartmentalize and segmentize those votes. So the things that, you know, a lot of those votes, that's why I said Peter Obi's real votes, they're around about 2 million thereabouts. Those are his guaranteed votes. A lot of the things that played out in 2027, the Muslim ticket, the NSAS policy, the anti-establishment voters, all of those are greeds that packed into the Obi movement. They are not going to. It cannot play the Muslim ticket anymore because we would have already. We've been through. My name has not changed to Mukhtar, and your name has not changed to Amina. So nobody is being Islamized or whatever it is that. So that's gone. You know. So and with that goes a chunk, and then the middle belt as well. that were so heavily hemorrhaged and invested upon by Buhari, you know, they are finding succor now under Tinubu somewhat. So a lot of his votes, it was a moment in time. It was a zeitgeist 2020. It was a moment in time that doesn't carry through to 2027. So Obi doesn't carry those through. But what Obi does carry through, guaranteed, are the southeastern votes.
Let me explain
and that's a mass.
Let me explain to you again.
Sorry, carry on. Yeah.
If a politician is running on sentiment on him, yes, it can carry him over the years. Anytime he comes out. So what it means is that the sentiment, for people who say there is sentiment in politics, if the sentiment is on the politician, his personality, who he is, yes, anytime he steps out, they go follow him. In fact, his numbers might increase. But if the sentiment is in other things except that politician, and those things fable away, he ain't got nothing. But if you people don't believe me, it is around the corner. So let's wait. But woman, you're making me lose my thought. There is something I wanted to say.
Sorry, but I just wanted to hold you to that space because
but you know
Obi
me,
has
when I say
Obi is the most.
I don't. When I say
for
something,
me, Obi is the most. You know, Obi is the most potent politician in Nigeria, and I'm even including Tinubu there.
He's not. He's not. But let me say this.
Because you know, Tinubu doesn't command the Yoruba votes.
He's not.
Tinubu commands party structure votes.
I said,
but Obi commands individualistic votes.
The sentiment is not on him.
Well, okay.
I repeat, sentiment that.
Where is the sentiment then?
It's not on him.
It was anti-establishment. Are you saying all these votes were anti-establishment?
I said the sentiments that got him those votes are not on him. It is in other things.
Yes.
Like
So
religion, like ethnicity, like head for establishment, and science, whatever. It's not on him. If the sentiment is on the way he talks, the way he presents this, what he did that, oh, look at his funny, his article, you know, that kind of, if the sentiment is on him, I can assure you that anytime he steps out, his numbers will double. That's just the truth. But
Zita,
let me go to what I wanted to
sorry,
say.
go on.
Now that it has come back.
Okay, go on. I'll bring you back to this conversation. But carry on.
Individual trying to do. I hope Nigerians are listening. Let me say this. The opposition, they are dangling about. The person that they don't have opposition party now anyway. They have opposition individuals. And the person they are planning against is quietly planning his own too. They throw what is it called? Decamp to him. He decamped everywhere, chaos. They are now saying that collation. He's going to show them collation. As they're planning, he too is planning. And the problem they have is that he doesn't talk much. His own day, his heart, even his aides and people surrounding him don't know what the guy is planning. So that's by the way. But let me tell you what I understand. Apart from all these things you are saying, the moment I see them bring Amechi into the picture, what I understand is that they want to puncture Tinubu's southern region votes. They're trying to use another tactics on him. Because if they really want to make a challenge, according to you people, let me say it again for those who get angry. If they're actually really trying to face him, form a coalition, put people who they think can challenge him, and then challenge him, according to you people, they would have taken
You
Obi.
are
And they're not
trying.
taking
You
Obi.
are trying.
They're not taking Obi. So, what am I saying in essence? From this Amechi stuff and other things I'm hearing, it's like they want to puncture his votes in the southern region so that he win, because that they think he's planning to win the whole of southeast, south, what is it called? Southwest, and the middle belt. If he wins it, he's still the president. So what they are trying to do now is to puncture those votes. That's why they're letting Obi go, let him go and struggle on his own. They now brought Amechi so that the votes will do. So that's what I am thinking.
I think your permutation may be wrong, Zita.
Okay. You know, when I
Shall I
said
tell you
something.
why?
Go ahead.
No. That's fine. No. We're conversing.
No, go ahead now. Tell me why.
You see, Rotimi Amechi, your narrative of that puncturing through the South, it only holds with Peter Obi. It doesn't hold with Rotimi Amechi. There's sort of a visceral dislike for Rotimi. I'm not aware of anybody that likes Rotimi Amechi, either as politicians or even amongst the electorate. It doesn't have the weight or the gravitas. It doesn't have the command or the authority. It doesn't have anything. So Rotimi Amechi does not penetrate the South. Obi penetrates the South. I think they just want. I'm not sure they're even in any hope of winning this election, but because the way it permutates, if you have Rotimi Amechi and Amechi or Rotimi Amechi and Atiku on a ticket, because if Rotimi Amechi is in play, then it can only be in play as Atiku's deputy. That's the only role. I can't see him heading a ticket.
Okay, let me tell you this, one man.
So
politics are not done like that. With what is happening, hold on now. With what is happening in Rivers State,
then that brings Obi back. Yeah.
With what is happening in Rivers State, don't be surprised that if Amechi that has not won Rivers State before, even when he supported Buhari, don't be surprised that if he come out now to contest as vice or as president, he will take Rivers. Probably take Imo State. And cross River State. Don't be surprised.
Amechi will take Rivers from Wike and Fubara. You know Fubara is a Tinubu boy now.
I told you two things. Yeah, today.
It will take an act of God for him to do that. An act of God.
Okay, hold on now. Hold on. I said something. I said, yes, it is true. Sentiments do win election. Both ways. As long as you have that sentiment, it's either it's on something or it's on you. Either way, he wins an election. He can use the sentiment of what is it called? Wike's overbearing attitude to win an election in the South. I'm telling you, that's how politics work. He can just that
Madam Tita.
alone, he can use it to win election in the South side.
Madam Tita, I disagree with you. Amechi is the most hated politician in after Wike because of the role he played during Jonathan. He was the one that actually colluded with the other 5 governors then in support of Atiku that it was the northern turned. So I think where Amechi got it wrong is the best peer will have been Atiku and Obi combination, but rather than working on that, he think Amechi think that he wants to outsmart Obi. That was why in the statement that he made that he voted, he didn't, that he told Tinubu before 2023 election that he's not going to support him because he does not believe in capacity, that it was article that he voted for. He used all that. Then even as a minister, that employment, all the benefit, all the things that he did, it was in favor of the North. He was choosing that to play himself into the I can bet you somebody, Madam Sita, look at it now. A city governor, the chairman of the governor forum, that couldn't get 20%, that did not have a single since 2015 till date. His party and candidate did not they cannot produce out of one single House of Assembly, let alone House of Rep, let alone case senator or governor since 2015. So what electoral value does he have?
Okay, can I explain to you?
Yes.
You talk about electoral value. That guy won governorship election. He fought. And he did a lot of things in River State as a governor. Then come the sentiment, the brew between him, Jonathan, Wike, and all that things. As I said before, that sentiment we are talking about and anger on Amechi, as you said, made him not to win things in River State, right? If you turn that sentiment sideways again, that same sentiment might make him win. That's how politics work. That's why in politics, do not ever underrate your opponent. I don't like this attitude of people will come and say, this person does not have electoral value. This person is not liked, is hated. If you go to the internet over the years and see the anger of Anambarians on Obi when he was governor, you will be shocked that he won Anambra and won the whole of Southeast. I repeat, elections are not done that way. That's why when you are a politician, you do not underrate your fellow politician. Don't sweep him and say, who knows that one? You don't do that. If you do that, it's coming back to
you don't have to underrate, but you can estimate now. Okay, like Traore, for instance, is never going to be the president. He's never going to get 100,000 votes because the votes are not there for him. So you can somewhat, guesstimate.
Let me tell you, there is something I said here some time ago.
In a fair fight, even Amechi cannot defeat Traore. In a fair fight for the presidency, Amechi cannot defeat Traore.
Okay, that's okay. Amechi, that Amechi people are talking about has made more inroads into the north than Peter Obi. I know what I'm talking about. He has more inroads in the northeast and northwest than Peter Obi. And any other politician apart from Tinubu and the Kwankwanzo is that Atiku. Well, those ones, Atiku and the Kwankwanzo come from the north. It's only now that Amechi has come out, he's the only politician among them now that has an inroad in the north. So I will not underrate him. I will not. And I will not undergrade him. Neither will I minimize his ambition. And I don't think any sensible politician should do so. Then again,
Zita, let me Go on. Okay. I think Zita muted. Maybe she was interrupted. Just let me permutate it the way I see it. The ticket that will give Tinubu probably the hardest time will be an Obi, an Atiku Obi ticket, but that ticket is looking increasingly unlikely an Atiku Obi ticket. So that's not really as possible as it should be. So the only other ticket, so the way it permutates,
ticket will be being the presidential candidate.
Then you can't be Atiku Obi because Atiku has already been vice. So I'm not sure if the constitution opens that.
That's what I'm saying now.
Woman.
You can't say Atiku Obi because you people say Obi is a beautiful bride. Obi should remain the presidential candidate. So Atiku Obi can because two of them want to be presidential candidate. It doesn't work that way. And then Atiku Obi again might anger some Nigerians. We are still on sentiments.
Woman. This is how it is. You see, anywhere in the world, politics is a game of mind, and it is a behavioral pattern. And when you are talking about politics in Nigeria, the best person that understands the game of mind in Nigerian politics is Tinubu. You see, the behavioral pattern of last election is not going to be this new election. No. It's not going to be new election. Tinubu doesn't need to be popular all over the region. But once you hold the structure and there's fund and there's motivation of all those structure to deliver their territory, forget all this one you are saying. Obi have 6 million last election. He has 10 million last election. The behavioral pattern of last election is not going to be this one. And the way things tight now, the hatred most of people are pushing out, okay, is coming down, and it will reduce before they enter that election. So, which means the behavioral pattern of people will change. The hostility of some people will reduce. And yes, where is getting more interesting. Obi doesn't even have the resources to push Nigeria election. Look at all
That's
those
not
places.
correct. That's
He
not
doesn't.
correct.
He doesn't have the resources
I
to
said
push
that's not
Nigerian
correct.
election. Let me tell you why it is correct. When they finished election in presidential election last time, in Lagos, when it was the period of governorship election, in each polling unit, canvasser alone are up to 8. Do you know how much that cost? Now you are not talking about the representative who just canvasser alone. For each polling unit, nothing less than 8. Multiply it by every polling unit all over Nigeria. He doesn't.
Didn't do that
Nigeria
the last
election
time.
is.
He got 6 million votes, and you people call
He
him a
got
beautiful
6 million
bride.
votes, and I said after that presidential election, you see that governorship election, because Lagos State lose to be during the presidential, the number of canvasser they put out for each polling unit is not less than 8. And do you know how much that cost? And with that experience, do you think Tinubu will allow that to happen again? And where Madam Musita was quietly right, Atiku still have much of those things, much of those power when it comes to outreach than Obi. Settlement doesn't win election in Nigeria. Money does, and structure does.
No, He won for Obi 6 million
Sentiment
votes.
won the Obi 6 million votes.
Well, he
now,
gave
so.
Obi 6 million votes. No
That
go
was
there.
why I said the behavioral pattern of last election.
No. You said that, but you said sentiments doesn't win elections. So a different set of sentiments will come into play. The only disappointment that I have somewhat, they're still playing the same politics as 2023. That's where they're getting it wrong.
One man, the sentiment, I will keep saying it. If they like, let them abuse me. I don't care. Nobody forces me to. You can't force me to say what I don't want to say, and you can't force me to say what I think to me is wrong to say. So I don't know the name of the speaker that was speaking. One man. Sentiment do win election, but I said something. I said, if the sentiment is in other things, if those things fizzle away, you're not gonna gain your roots again. But if the sentiment is on you, people have that sentiment on you, like they say, hey, that guy is smart. Look at the way he does this. Look at the way he was this. He did this. He did that. He did this. He did that. He did that. That's what I call you have something to run on. If that sentiment is on you, I can assure you, if he come out in 2027, it will double. He will get more votes. He's not going to lose more votes. But from my own political analysis, the sentiment wasn't on him. It was on other things, and those things are gone. Like Nigerians screaming, how dare they make Muslim ticket? They want to Islamize us. Then they talk about Igbos is their turn, as if all the tribes in Nigeria has finished ruling Nigeria except the Igbos. Say the Igbos is the turn of the Igbos. That's another sentiment. Then hate for establishment. Buhari collected their money and set it ablaze. That one was there. Everybody was going crazy. Even at that, some people refused to come out to vote. Then the anger of NSAS gave him Lagos State. I don't think it will give him Lagos State again. So all these things are feeble. Of course, the thing was taken care of in the gubernatorial election. The way he wasn't able to hold up to three states that he won. He struggled.
All right, let me ask you a question, Zita. Hold on, Zita. Let me ask you a question. How many votes do you think Peter Bika carries into 2027? How many votes?
He can get 100 million votes. But the thing is that he's not going to be the president.
No, it's not, of course.
Hold on. It's a satire. I'm just being...
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah. Why did I put it that way? Whatsoever vote he gathered, other people will get more than he does. Simple. They will get more than he's going to get. That's just the truth.
Madam Sita, you see, what Obi has the last election is only sentiments. No structure, no outreach, no groundwork. That is why I said sentiment is not enough to win election in Nigeria. You might have sentiment in one region, in two regions, but it's not going to be all over the place, and it's not even enough. What win election in Nigeria is money and structure. You have to understand that. And the only person in charge of that win election, nothing less, nothing more. Structure and money.
So
Nigeria election is most expensive.
Vote, but you won't win the election. That's what you are saying.
You say what?
Without those two things you mentioned, you can get a large number of votes, but you won't win the election, because that's what happened to Obi.
Because Obi only went to the election only with the sentiment. Nothing else. You play on religion, you play on ethnicity. It's not enough. One region, two region, three region, even three region, if it is not strong enough, if it is not good enough in number. It's not enough to win you election. Election in Nigeria is a structural behavioral pattern of people and a good number of resources. You have to have the resources and you have to have the structure. The structure that will penetrate into the village where there's no internet, where there's no figure of people living in that area. At least in every household, you must have a representative who is bidding for your interest. That is how election is won in Nigeria.
You see, let me say something, and I will keep saying it. I will say it anyway, because one man has given me time to talk, and you have given me your free time to talk. It was taken care of during the gubernatorial election. Yes, I said it. But some idiots will not understand. I have to use that word, idiots. Because I hate it when somebody listens to me. You don't understand what I'm saying. You abuse me. You see, why did I say that it was taken care of during the gubernatorial election after the presidential election? It was taken care of because the sentiment is not in Obi. The people voting LP were not voting because they want to establish Obi. They were voting because of other sentiments like, I don't like Tinubu, Muslim ticket, NSAS, head for establishment. And the moment they lost that one, they went home. Because that their sentiment has been won. They were won on it. So they went home. They didn't bother again. But if the sentiment was in Obi, it would have been fight to finish. Even the government, I heard that even when they were doing the campaign in Igbo land, they were telling them to vote again so that he will get more, what do you call it, more states and more people on his side. Those people did not come. They didn't care. Because that's not why they were. They were not voting to establish Obi. They were voting because of the presidency. Because that's where their sentiment is. They didn't like the Muslim ticket. They didn't like the establishment. They didn't like the party called APC because of what Buhari has done to them. They don't like Tinubu. And they believe it should be the time of the Eastern man. And the moment that one was erased, everybody went home. So it was taken care of. Immediately after that presidential election, everything fizzled away naturally because they were not campaigning to establish Obi. I hope that person that was abusing me, I hope he gets it now. Bros, continue.
See, last election, okay, the way it was conducted, the behavioral pattern of people is different from this one. Anybody that know the groundwork of Tinubu, how he reason, how he play in politics, okay, immediately some people at the campaign, you will have understand the way this election will pan out. Go and write it down. I'm saying it, I'm still repeating it. The groundwork of this election is going to win largely on structure. People will shout foul play, they will cry as usual, but the pattern of this election is going to be won by structure.
Yeah, but that's how elections. Hold on now. That's not breaking news. Now that's how elections are
It's
won
not
in Nigeria
breaking news,
anyway.
but
So
when Buhari was conducting, hold on. When Buhari was conducting last
hold on.
election,
hold on. The two things you said is already known. So you are saying it as though you
Okay.
are bringing new information.
Now let me
Can you just hold on? Money and structure wins the elections in Nigeria. Everybody knows that. So it is not breaking news. But carry on.
Okay. You see, last election was conducted by Buhari. And if you look at that election, okay, it was largely play on emotion. And what did Buhari did? He actually destroyed the structure. Because if you understand Nigerian politics very well, you will know that it is largely based on structure and money. So they throw a lot of things to destroy the structure of APC so that it will not favor Tinubu. Fuel scarcity, money redesign, everything. People that lost primary, all of them are suddenly went cold. No activity, no activities. Nothing is projecting it as we are all in board. Now this election now, okay, that the incumbent who is interested in winning the election is going to conduct. Don't let any of us be fooled that it is all this coalition. They will not even fly. They will not.
You don't talk about politics that way. I'll keep correcting you guys. You don't talk politics that way.
Let's put our
No. I'm not saying that we win Tinubu, but what I'm telling you, or that Tinubu will win them. What I'm telling you is that politics is not one based on these things you are saying. Honestly, sincerely speaking, it's not one. All over the world, you don't win. Don't underrate your opponent.
I'm not underrating them, but I'm only saying as long as they don't have the resources, they don't have the structure, and they are not the one conducting it, they are not going to win anything. Which structure? Okay, let's take it one after the other. They might blow grammar, blow everything, get media sensation. Tell me, is it El-Rufai that have the capital?
You don't do election like, hi, God of mercy. You don't do election that way.
Okay.
Honestly, people donate for a particular cause. Those guys might even get their money from Saudi Arabia. You never can tell. Don't talk about money. Like, after all, P2B, diaspora was loading money into his account for for Tinubu. Leave that matter. The only place that we tell you that we are threatened not to come out to become governor is Lagos State. That we keep shouting, why didn't they win election where they won Nasarawa, wherever they won in the Middle Belt, and then they won all the whole of South and the whole of Southeast, and they were threatening all those states not to come out to vote. And people do, you see, these are the things Nigerians say that they demeaning their country. They don't listen. They argue based on their sentiments. They were threatened in Lagos. They were also threatened in Delta. They were threatened in Akwa Ibom. They were threatened in Nasarawa or Plateau State. Babjide State.
Even all the Southeast.
They were threatened in all the Southeast not to vote. I don't get it, but their Lagos stuff is, I said it here, that Obi cannot win River State. And he didn't win it. They can make any claim, cut something, remote it, put it in the internet, say this is where you won, this is where you didn't win. As I said before, and I will continue saying it, Obi cannot win River State. Those people don't like the Igbos. Rivers people will not vote the Igbos. I can assure you that. Hate me, like me, and will continue saying it. Come the next election, he will not win River State.
But do you know that Buhari destroy last election, they destroy APC structure because of Tinubu? You agree to that?
Election is not done like that.
No, I am asking you a question. Last election, you agree that they destroy APC structure?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
They didn't. The man was.
No, how did they destroy it?
How did they?
It was the APC structure that gave him the victory.
Listen, they destroy it by making the people, okay, go through excruciating pain, such as money design, such as fuel scarcity.
That's not the structure now. That's not the structure.
You think it's not a structure? When in the period of election, you just push out those two weapons outside. Don't you know that even your own party man will be hungry?
No, that is. Let me tell you. Let me.
Yeah, but that's not the structure, though. That's not. That's a different narrative, isn't it?
Okay.
Let me tell you. The problem parties do have is the internal disagreement. It's a common thing.
When a ruling party put out
whether it's a ruling party or it's not a ruling party, there is bound to have internal conflict. And you people's ability to sort that internal conflict and move forward makes you a party, a team. That is what will be lack. And that's what Atiku lack. There must always be an internal conflict. Why? Because we are dealing with different individuals with different interests. But the ability for you to bring two of them together, or everybody together, and everything, so we still disagree with you. According to Amechi said, I heard he said, told Tinubu that he's not going to vote for him. Thank God he just won't vote. Because if I were Amechi, if I said that I'm going to come out to campaign against him, so that it will not be only my vote. So, but he said that and went inside the house. What does that simply means? Number one, he didn't say that in the open. Number two, he didn't campaign against him. That means they sort out their internal problem. So, well, if you're not going to vote for me, okay, now no problem. At least it's only one vote. He said, yes, it's only my vote. You can't get my vote. Chicken now. That's what they call internal conflict. But whereby you are in a party and the internal conflict comes and you are their presidential bearer, you cannot connive and convince them and cajole them into coming together to follow you behind them. Problem.
Sorry, Awo. There's a lot of background noise from you when you're not speaking as muted.
So that is what they put. It's not that they almost destroyed their party. Of course, everybody each and every one of them have their own ambition. Who doesn't want to be a president of a country like Nigeria? So you will not just expect them to shield their ambition just because your name is Tinubu or because your name is Buhari. The good thing Buhari did, he didn't even destroy the party. The good thing he did was to shut up his mouth. Because if he has mentioned the candidate, it would have been more chaotic. So he was smart as a military man. He knows when not to cause a chaos and when to cause a chaos. He shut his mouth. When Tinubu picked the ticket and he noticed that he's moving forward with that ticket without him, he went to one country and from there he started supporting him. So he didn't destroy the party. But what you can say is that he brought so much hate for the party because of what he did towards the end of his tenure. But he didn't destroy the party. If it was Obasanjo is a destroyer. If it's Obasanjo would have named the candidate, come under that ego square that they campaign for him, raise his hand, and threaten everybody. If they don't vote for him, what he's going to do to them in his remaining days as a president. That's somebody who destroys the party.
Madam Shita, you see, the only thing that Buhari did in that last election, okay, and I think that make Tinubu still be on still be grateful to him was that he was very neutral. You see, the people who are member of his cabinet, whether you say central bank, whether the kitchen cabinet, all of them, okay, they are responsible for those policy then. Why? Because they don't want Tinubu. And that two policy alone trickled down to even the most downtrodden person on the street. And
Hold on, let me ask one man. Are you still there? Sorry to cut you short. One man.
I am here, yes.
Why? What happened to your platform? Or is it me? You have not been coming out. Hope everything is okay.
No, yes. I just took a moment to, catch my breath, sort of.
But where is Baba?
Yeah, but no, Baba is listening. He will join us shortly. Not today, though.
So, as I was saying, those two policy, okay, it affects the last person on the street. So, in a way, even the party member, okay, they find it so unbearable to even be able to say, yes, I'm a member of APC. And that in a way affected a governing party who wants to win back election. And that is what I meant by he affected the structure.
No, he didn't. See, let me tell you, one thing about politics is that if some group of citizens become too aggressive about a party and become very cantankerous about that party, the only thing, it doesn't destroy that party. The only thing they end up creating is what they usually call in politics wardrobe supporters. And the only thing it will result to is at the end of the day, you will say the election was rigged. Why? Because you shut people off by telling you, this is what I believe, this is the party I'm going to vote, I have this reason and this reason why I want to vote them.
Let me tell you,
decided to shut them up
last
your
election,
noise. And that was exactly what happened to Tinubu.
Madam Shita.
And that's what happened to Miller. That's what happened to Donald Trump. When you become
last election.
Hold on, let me finish. When you become so aggressive, when somebody says this, you say, God will punish you, you verify them, you cancel them, you end up creating a lot of wardrobe members who will no longer talk. They will not just keep quiet. On the election day, they will just, thank God it's secret ballot. They will just go there, pia, 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 pia. They will vote and come back in their house and sit down, be drinking champagne. And then when the results come out, you're like, who? What? Everybody hates him. Who told you that everybody hates him?
Madam Shita, let me ask you one question. Last election in APC, the incumbent governor that lost election throughout Nigeria, they were 11 states. In this 2027 election, do you think APC incumbent governor that will lose election, they can up to that?
He said APC governor, how many lost election?
11 states, 11 governors.
Which state is that?
I know Castina, I can't remember all of them again, but
Castina
in number.
Sorry, I will. Anzita, let me take it to the back. Super Chatter was Ayo. I'll send the link. Anybody that wants to come in. Thank everyone. I'll say see you tomorrow if I turn up, and if not, I'll see you still the day after. But thank everyone. See you later. Sorry, carry on.
Okay. So
No, they did not lose Kasina. They did not lose
no.
Kaduna. It's only Kaduna they lost.
Wait. Did APC win Kasina?
Yes.
I don't